Okay, ding-dongs. If you don't subscribe to Jeremy Ice and Fire, you're gonna spend the night in the box.
Aren't Cooey.
Something's different. I am changing. I don't know if I like who I'm becoming.
Boyd, there are a lot of people wanting to know what happened down there.
Mom, where's Dad? Why isn't he back yet?
Tabitha, we need to talk.
It means everything they showed us. It's real. I think they're doing it to make us afraid.
Well, then it worked. There is something ancient here. And it's feeding off our suffering, and it doesn't stop.
We're losing. We're running out of time, and we still don't know the goddamn rules. There is no way to fight back against those things. Everything we've done, every sacrifice we've made, none of us are going anywhere.
You think you're some kind of hero? You're a monster.
Lord, please protect us in this dark place where evil roams so freely. This we ask in your name. Amen.
One way or another, the truth always comes out.
I would make sure it doesn't.
And welcome all to another edition of the Fromville Hour. And tonight we are going to be diving into all things from season 4, including our thoughts and our thoughts on episode 4, and our theories and predictions on the upcoming episode 5. Hard to believe that we are already approaching the midway point of season 4. I mean, this first half of the season really felt like it kind of flew by. I can't believe we're already approaching episode 5. It feels like From just fucking got here, and now here we are, only 5 weeks away from it being gone. Well, 6 weeks away technically, because we are hearing there's going to be a week gap in between episodes 5 and 6, from what I have been hearing. I haven't double checked it myself, but a lot of people in the fandom have noticed that episode 6 is not scheduled to release until 1 week later. So it looks like we might have episode 5 this upcoming Saturday when that drops. But then we might have a 2-week period in between waiting for episode 6, it seems. Definitely something new. Never seen MGM do anything like that before. They've certainly never done anything like that with From before. But yeah, I guess we'll see.
I didn't see that. I mean, everything that I've looked at as far as the schedule still had it scheduled for, I think, the 24th, but That's not to say that, I mean, most of that stuff's just AI generated randomly. So yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I can see them doing it. Yes, it's the holiday weekend, but not everybody does something on Memorial Day weekend. So
It's very strange where From is concerned. Like they've never done something like that. I mean, From has kind of played throughout many different holidays in its many different seasons, and they've never done anything like this before. So yeah, I guess it'll be interesting to see if it's really true or if it was just maybe a rumor. But it seems like it's again, I haven't done any research into it to confirm it myself. I've just been seeing a lot of people in our Discord and in our comment sections talking about it. But yeah, we'll see. We shall see. Either way, I mean, even if we do have a week wait in between episodes 5 and 6, I mean, it's not the end of the world. That just gives us an extra week to kind of an extra week with From. Really, we only get 10 weeks. When this show comes around, we have to wait usually a year and a half, sometimes 2 years in between seasons.
Yeah.
So when From does eventually come around, it does sometimes feel like it's here and it's gone in a flash because it's only 10 episodes. But at least with this, yes, I'm sure people would rather get episode 6 next week. But even if that is the case and we do have to wait an extra week, it's an extra week we get to spend with From talking about it and theorizing on it with everyone. So there's silver linings, I guess. I'm trying to be a glass half full guy.
Well, I'll be the half empty guy then, because they must be.
We need the balance. We need the balance.
They must be banking on episode 5 being an absolute banger to tide us over for 2 weeks worth of discussion, if they're going to do that.
Maybe.
Because this episode fucking sucked. It was probably the worst episode, definitely the worst episode of the season. All the people that thought episode 3 was filler, episode 4 was just, I was joking you
didn't like it, right? Yeah, I remember you saying you didn't like it.
I was like, this, yeah. I mean, and I kind of defended episode 3, saying, they do the peaks and valleys, kind of the roller coaster thing, and episode 3 was kind of the putting pieces in place, but I wouldn't call it filler. Episode 4 was filler. It was just
really
for me. It was a bunch of garbage. It's like when you go, it would be like going to see David Copperfield make the Statue of Liberty disappear, and he goes back to doing like a rabbit out of the hat trick or something.
Jeez. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and we can expound on this later. I think we've got a seeds of discussion, but
we'll definitely dive into some of it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Again,
I'm not happy with it.
Not happy with it, and that's totally fine. That is totally fine. And you're not the only one. I see Kristen Gallo says, I agree with Lord Ravenor. So, there are some people out there that didn't really like episode 4 either. And and we've seen this, so far, like every episode so far this week, this season, we have been seeing, a good mix of, some people just aren't really super excited and happy with season 4 so far. And that's totally understandable. It is totally understandable. I definitely thought the season would have taken off a lot quicker from the beginning to now. I definitely did not expect them to kind of continue to drag things out the way that they have, especially considering we've already gotten 3 seasons of them doing nothing but dragging things out. Season 4 would be a little bit more pedal to the metal for the whole season, but it's looking a little bit more like the second half of the season is going to be that kind of pedal to the metal, or at least I'm hoping that's what we're going to get. But yeah, no, I mean, again, you're not alone. Long story short, you're not alone. I've been seeing a lot of comments on a lot of our videos from other fans that aren't super excited about season 4 yet. And that's okay. That's totally okay. I'm hoping episode 5 will be that one. We thought episode 4 was going to be the one that really kind of picked things up. And again, I didn't not like episode 4. I enjoyed episode 4. I thought it had some interesting things. But like you said, it definitely wasn't that kind of episode we thought it was going to be. It's looking like episode 5 is going to be that episode that we've been waiting for. Just based on that episode 5 trailer and everything we see in the trailer, it's looking like episode 5 is going to be a very, very interesting one with especially Jade and Boyd's storyline. And of course, everything that's happening at Cannibal Village with the demonic Kool-Aid men being pulled out of the lake by the random NPC Roger, first to get thrown in the freaking box for all of his egregious sins that he has committed since being in Fromville. If anyone saw my video, you guys know what I'm talking about. I kind of flayed Roger pretty good in my episode 4 video that I put out yesterday. But I kind of stopped back and I thought, like, this Roger character has been like just a freaking asshole from the very beginning. From every single scene that we see this guy in, he's doing something that I just want to look at him and you just want to roll your eyes, or worse, throw him in the fucking lake.
Is he like a spiritual successor of Dale?
Honestly, I liked Dale. I mean, even with Dale being like kind of a prick, Dale at least provided some comedic levity to the show. Like, some of the stuff Dale said was actually kind of funny. Roger's just a waste of fucking space. And he's out there just being completely reckless, almost getting people hurt. Roger was the same NPC background character that was one of the ringleaders that stormed into Tien Chen's house and stole all of her food during the food shortage. That's who Roger is. And then here we see him in this episode, just random. And I love, again, I got to give credit to West of Westeros for calling him, what's up with the random NPC just yanking the rope. Because I had the same fucking thought. Like, who does this guy think he is, just grabbing this fucking rope? Like, don't you know where you are? You're in Fromville in a haunted forest with monsters all over the place. You see a random kind of rope, very foreboding rope, just leading into the water, and your first idea is just grab it and yank on the fucking thing. What are you thinking, Roger? Did you forget where you were for a second? And then, to make matters even more egregious, to make his sins even worse, Roger was the one who pulled on the freaking rope and unearths the freaking demonic scarecrow men. And again, thanks to the trailer, we kind of already know what came up from the bottom of that lake. And again, we've had a lot of discussions on that, on, MGM maybe throwing a little bit too much in their trailers this season, just a little too much. But thanks to the trailer, we do know that those scarecrows are going to be what they fish out of the lake. But to make matters even worse, Roger is the one who caused all of this. And then when it comes time to pulling these things out of the lake, here he is standing in the background like a schmuck while everyone else is doing the hard work. Roger's got to go. God. Roger has got to go.
I don't think.
Right? He's got to go.
I think you probably won't have to wait too long, because I mean, everybody was thinking it's going to be main characters and stuff with the demonic Kool-Aid Man scene. It very well could be Roger. It could be the end.
I'm hoping it is. I feel like he's earned it at this point. But then again, Roger, this random NPC Roger, he's exactly the type of character to do something stupid that gets everybody else around him hurt while he just gets away scot-free. So I wouldn't even be surprised if he survives. I really wouldn't. These weasels always survive. But Roger answers to no one, I guess. Roger forgot he was an NPC and stepped up like he was a main character. That's what Roger did at the end of episode 4. At the end of episode 4, he forgot he was a background character. He forgot he was an NPC, and he just stepped up like he was a main character and yanked on that fucking rope. And
that wasn't a small rope either. That wasn't like garden twine. That wasn't like something. It was a big ass damn
massive rope,
maritime rope or something.
This is a maritime rope you see on freaking vessels, on giant yachts and shit. And then again, this was the part that made it the worst for me. Seeing the trailer for episode 5 and then seeing him just back there with his fucking hands on his freaking, just chilling while everyone else is doing the hard work of unearthing the nightmare that you just fucking unburied. Yeah, Roger's got to go.
He might be pissed though. He's like, this is about the 6th friggin' vegetable run I've made, because he made the previous one as well. He's like, maybe it's just time to kick back a little bit.
Yeah,
let Ellis.
Yeah, Roger's gonna go. Roger's gonna go. Roger's got to fucking go. But no, I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun kind of throwing that into my video. It's little stuff like that I've been meaning to add a little bit more to my videos lately. Some of those little comedy bits. I always have fun doing those. But yeah, NPC Roger, he's got to go. He's got to go, and I'm hoping that he does go. But yeah. Again, episode 4, I thought it was interesting for the most part. I mean, yes, it wasn't the kind of big bang episode that we kind of thought it was going to be, especially after the setup we got in episode 3. But again, I enjoyed what we got for the most part from season 4. I saw a lot of people in the chat saying at least we didn't get to spend much time with Acosta, and at least we didn't spend too much time with Sophia. I saw a few characters saying as well, a few fans saying as well, which is true. But yeah, no, I think episode 4. For me, episode 4 was very similar to episode 3 in the sense where I kind of liked them both kind of equally the same. I think I gave them both like a 7.5 out of 10. Okay. Not my favorite episodes, but not my least favorite episodes either. I thought we got some interesting nuggets of information that at least gave us some kind of plot progression, not a whole lot, but at least a little bit, some interesting kind of tidbits. Julie with the story walking, kind of going back to the 1978 massacre. At least now we know how the Man in Yellow found out about Julie in the first place. It seems like that version of the Man in Yellow, that was a past version of the Man in Yellow, and it seemed like that was the first time he was ever even seeing Julie. So it was interesting to kind of see the beginning of their kind of game of story walking tag that they'll probably go on to play for the rest of the series. But yeah.
He wasn't joking. Yeah, in 78, he was not the fun, joking around Man in Yellow that we know and love. He was all business, and he was all business. It was very good and serious. The funny thing is, ironically, I think the acting. I thought the writing was terrible in this episode, and that's why I hated the episode. But the acting was really pretty darn good in a lot of places, and that's what I was like, wow. Even from the very beginning, that first scene with Henry, Boyd, Donna, Ellis in the sheriff's office.
That was a good scene. Yeah.
Henry nailed it, man.
Our characters consolidating and planning and sharing information. That was a step in the right direction. Yeah.
As he was, I love that he kind of like dismissed himself, to go talk to Victor individually. And then he stopped himself and just said his piece, his little piece. And I think it was about all the stuff being paintings in his basement until now, and he said what he had to say, and then it was just done, and he's like, all right, and split. So it was pretty excellent acting all around. Donna in the beginning scene and later on, I think there's some characters that don't do high intensity very well. I don't like Donna when she's freaking out. It's not as believable, maybe just not consistent with her character in my mind. I don't really see her freaking out, but I don't like the way she acts when she's freaking out. And I thought Julie was acting her ass off in this episode.
Julie was good in this episode. Julie was good. She was really good in this episode. And I think you've mentioned that in the past where like we have seen like her character has really kind of stepped up ever since the story walking has been introduced, and even her acting has improved, it seems.
And I kind of dreaded it because she was far from my favorite character in previous seasons. So if you'd have told me, oh, Julie's role will be dramatically increased in season 4, I would be like, I would not have been enthused. But she is really stepping up, and I think pairing her up with Randall is pretty excellent too.
He's storyline.
He's kind of like the cool guy, the cool guy foil, but he's always down.
He's like the cool older brother. Exactly.
But man, I'm buying that dynamic. I'm buying it 100%. So
me too. Absolutely. I mean, they've had good scenes together ever since the beginning. I mean, ever since they were both kind of thrown into the cicada madness together. And, nobody else in Fromville knows what they went through except for them three. Only them three can really know what they saw, what they experienced. And I love how we get a small insight to it. They haven't really kind of touched on it since, but we get that small little insight in season 3. When Boyd and Randall are on the bus at night, when Boyd wants to sleep on the bus to see if he can learn a little bit more about the monsters. And we get that really great scene between him and between Randall and Boyd, where Randall talks about, if you've seen the things that I've seen, and Boyd kind of gets a look on his face like, what have you seen? And it's almost like in that moment, Boyd forgot what Randall had been through, that he was in that place, because you see the look on Boyd's face. He's like, what have you seen? What do you mean? What have you seen that's so bad? And then Randall's like, what do you think I mean, Boyd? Me, Julie, Marielle, wherever we were. And that whole scene was just a master class performance from the actor who plays Randall. He was so good in that scene, talking about, everyone's running around here afraid of dying, I think there's worse things here than death. And that was just one of the, still to this day, that's one of the best Randall scenes I think they've ever written for that character. Because for the moment you see him kind of drop that kind of thin veneer that he kind of walks around with, where he doesn't, Randall, he's kind of always walks around with that kind of, with his walls up. He's very much a walled character. He does not let people in. He does not let people see who he really is. He's very kind of always on point in that regard. But in that moment, it's almost like he kind of dropped that facade for a split second. And he's telling Boy, like, if there's a way to get out of here, I want out. I want to help, because he's seen crazy shit. Who knows what Randall and Julie and Marielle really went through in that kind of state. So I've always really enjoyed that scene of Randall kind of pointing that out to Boyd. And then, seeing him and Julie kind of pair up, knowing that they're the only ones that know what they've been through. They've had some good scenes together. Very good scenes together.
Yeah.
But
and
just
even,
really quick,
go ahead. Please.
I just wanted to say thank you to West of Westeros for renewing your membership. Thank you so much, West of Westeros. Very, very much appreciate you, my friend. And of course, a $19.99 from West of Westeros. And we have West of Westeros for coining the phrase NPC Roger. I'll have you. I want to make sure he gets his due credit. West of Westeros came up with the NPC Roger name. I just did a funny bit with it. But big shout out to West of Westeros. That was hilarious. It made me I was dying when I saw your comment the other night. But West of Westeros for $19.99 says, this episode better be banger. Howdy, Fromily, Jeremy, Ravener, Glitter Bomb. Hell yes, Glitter Bomb, my friend. You get a Glitter Bomb. Glitter Bomb. But no, I'm with you. And again, as Ravener was stating earlier, it doesn't seem like you're the only one, Ravener. It seems when it comes to episodes 3 and 4, it seems the fandom is kind of split down the middle, where some of the fans are really, really loving it so far, and some fans are, maybe not loving it as much. And that's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But it is a theme that we are starting to notice, that a few people are not liking the season so far. But again, I'm really hoping that the second half of the season is really going to pick up.
Yeah, I mean, I still thought 1 and 2 were good. 3 I tolerated, understood, and I didn't have any.
1 and 2 were good. 1 and 2 were. I thought 1 and 2 were definitely good. Yeah.
But I think what it was is everything that they tried, none of it hit. I mean, and they did that. They did that in season 2. A lot of the cicada stuff, it just didn't hit with me, and I'll take it on myself as entirely personal thing. It just was like they're trying to shock you, or they're trying to be spooky, and it's just not hitting. And that I felt that way about the Ring. I felt that way about the Golem. I just don't care about it, and I think it's a distraction. I think it's a distraction to get us discussing something else. I found the Sarah and Sophia the scene with them, probably that pushed the story forward a little bit more, gave us a little more understanding about the overarching mystery. And then of course we were left with that and it was an excellent cliffhanger, Roger aside, notwithstanding Roger. It was a pretty cool cliffhanger to see what are they dragging up out of the
yes and we were discussing this when during our episode 5 our episode 4 breakdown right after the watch party. We were discussing that exact thing, where if we didn't see that in the season 4 trailer, if they didn't put this in the season 4 trailer, that would have been a really, really good cliffhanger ending, with all of us wondering what the hell is coming up from the bottom of the lake. What the hell are they going to have to deal with now? And then even more so, if we didn't know this whole Scarecrow thing was coming, and we saw that happen in next week's episode, or episode 6, I believe it's going to be coming in episode 5 or 6 based on the episode synopsis anyway. And considering that they're already there now. But I can just imagine, and again, I know we beat this drum quite a lot, but I can only imagine what that scene would have done to the fandom as a whole if we didn't know it was coming. Like this would have been such a good cliffhanger ending, and that would have been such a fucking awesome kind of twist moment that none of us saw coming if we didn't see that in the trailer.
Yeah, but, and what's sad is they put it in the trailer, and I don't really see that adding that to the trailer. I didn't see it as drawing more people's interest. That wasn't one of the first and foremost things that people were puzzling about. I mean, I know they try to make it seem like exciting and dynamic and scary, so I half understand why they would want to feature the Kool-Aid Man, even at the risk of spoiling it completely. But that moment would have been talked about, long afterwards as one of the great jump scares of the entire show, if they hadn't already, if we hadn't already seen it 17,000 times.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's true. It is true. It would have been one of those big kind of scenes that, everybody would have been talking about for a while. And again, people I'm sure will still be talking about it considering how that scene goes on to play out, but definitely not at the extent as they would have if we didn't know it was coming.
Yeah. It's like the zombie Abby hands that came out and grabbed Boyd at the grave. That was a cool thing to put in the trailer. We saw it and we were like, oh my gosh, what could that have been? It's a mystery. Whose hands could be jumping out while Boyd's at a grave? And then it was literally there for a jump scare, and then no further reference. Yeah, no further reference whatsoever. The very next day, Boyd's in there, not even mentioning it. It's like, oh yeah, by the way, I had a hallucination that some hands grabbed me. But moving on. Nothing to see here.
And I'll be honest, that's kind of what I expected them to do with it. I had a feeling we weren't going to get like a definitive answer as to like what hands those were. I had a feeling we weren't even going to hear Boyd mention it, and lo and behold, we didn't. But yeah, again, I definitely get it. Definitely understand where, again, season 4, I'm enjoying season 4 as a whole overall. But there are some storylines that, I do think could have been a little bit better for sure. Absolutely. But yeah. And again, as Nick brings up, MGM is treating the show like a joke with all the spoilers. And again, this is, I can only react to what I see. And just based on all the comments that we've been getting here on this channel, and we've been getting quite a lot, this is a sentiment that we've been hearing repeated over and over and over again from quite a lot of fans that were very disappointed in how much stuff that they've been putting in the promotional material this season. And it has. There's been some pretty big spoilery stuff in there. I do agree. I definitely do agree. But yeah, and again, part of me is thankful that when it comes to MGM and when it comes to From, when they make their trailers, when they make their promotional material, it's usually all cut from the first 5 or 6 episodes at the most. They usually never put any footage from the second half of the season in any of the trailers. So at least the second half of the season is going to be all completely new stuff for us. None of us are going to know what's coming. But I definitely still get the sentiment. There could have been a lot of cool things that would have been nice to discover if we didn't see them in the promotional material. So I do get the sentiment, and it is one that has been shared by a lot of fans. Again, I've got a lot of comments kind of a similar nature. We got West of Westeros for $1.99. Thank you so much, West of Westeros. Archie says hi. I digress. Well, hi to Archie. So glad Archie made a full recovery. Archie, of course, is West of Westeros' cat. Had a big surgery not too long ago. Made a full recovery. Still kicking. Love that Archie's still hanging out with us. Absolutely.
If I recall, he's big. It's a big cat too. It's not a little
big cat. I believe it's a big cat. He's a big old cat. It's a big old cat. And we also have West of Westeros for another $4.99. Thank you so much, my friend. Very much appreciate it. Let's see. Do you think Fatima is going to accidentally bring the scarecrows to life with her attempt to bring the golem to life, or what's going to whisper Norman and Tata, I don't know. Again, when it comes to this golem thing, again, golems are brought to life using a very specific ritual, a very specific kind of important kind of few words from the Hebrew Bible. Only a very few phrases can kind of bring golems to life. It needs to be a divine word from the Hebrew Bible. But Yeah, I don't know. We have been getting a lot of comments, and I did do a video on this in my most recent video. I touched on this a little bit, talking a little bit about the whole golem thing. And if the scarecrows are potentially golems from another previous cycle. That was one comment that we were getting a lot from a lot of people. A lot of people are wondering, are these scarecrows potentially golems from another cycle? Did another cycle previously in Fromville build these scarecrows in a similar manner to what Fatima is doing with her golem? And I thought it was an interesting theory, at least enough to kind of touch on a little bit in my video. But again, whenever I think of golems and the traditional sense of the golem, like it's a very specific creature. And scarecrows made out of straw is not really what comes to mind when I think of golems. Golems are usually only made with mud or clay or other earthly substances like rock and stuff like that. But then again, you know, who knows? These kind of myths and legends kind of change from mythology to mythology. I kind of go off the original version of the golem, the earliest version of the golem, which is the Hebrew version. And in that version, it's very specific how you bring these things to life. You have to sculpt the body, and then you have to kind of find a divine word from the Hebrew Bible, write it on a piece of paper, put it into the golem's mouth, and that will supposedly animate them. Or you could also carve the word right onto the golem's forehead, and that will also bring them to life. And the only way to shut them down, the only way to deactivate them is to remove the note from the mouth or wipe the word from the forehead. That supposedly puts them out of commission. But golems have also been known to grow out of control of their creator. So whenever I see this whole Fatima golem thing, yeah, the golem mythology around it is very interesting. But I think the Victor Frankenstein parallel with it is even more interesting, because when I see Fatima doing this, if this thing does come to life, which I'm still not sure if it's even gonna come to life, but this is Fromville. After all, we do know there is mystical and magical and supernatural energy here. So there could be stuff that is possible here in Fromville that isn't possible in the real world. Kind of like what Julie was talking about with Randall in episode 4, how maybe some of these things out there in all of these fantasy novels originated here, and some of the stuff seeped out into the real world from here, but this is the source of it. And I thought that was an interesting theory, that this is maybe the source of a lot of the weird supernatural stuff in the world, that it's kind of slowly seeping out of Fromville into people's minds and stuff. I thought that was interesting because we have a precedent for stuff like that happening in the past, at least with all the reincarnated people kind of having visions of this place. So I thought that was an interesting theory from Julie. But if a golem can be brought to life anywhere, Fromville is probably a place where that could potentially happen. So, but again, I'm still kind of 50-50, and I definitely want to get everybody's thoughts on this in the chat, and yours as well, Ravener, both on two things. Do you think the golem is going to come to life? And if the golem does come to life, will we potentially see it grow out of Fatima's control? Because again, golems have been known to grow out of control of their creators. And that's where I'm starting to see a lot of the Frankenstein parallels between Fatima and her monster and Victor Frankenstein and his monster. A lot of parallels there in terms of what they're doing and how this could potentially go. But for me personally, if the golem does come to life, I think it's only a matter of time before it grows out of Fatima's control and something bad happens. But what do you guys think in the chat? Will the golem come to life? And if it does, will Fatima be able to control it? And do you think there's any kind of connection between her golem and what they are unearthing out of the lake here? Because I did think that was also interesting as well, how just literally right at the moment that Fatima is building these golems, that's right when NPC Roger unearths these scarecrows. Is that a coincidence? Or is there something more there? Again, I know a lot of fans are wondering if these scarecrows are golems from a previous cycle. I don't know. I don't know where that is as far as that is concerned. The only thing I'm thinking, if this golem does come to life, Fatima's golem, it's going to be a disaster.
Yeah. And I think that was for all the protection and all this other stuff. I mean, you're in a place that has talismans. You're in a place that has amulets. You could have made any number of things as a protective gesture rather than building an enormous mud giant in your in the third floor of your home. I personally, I don't think that it's going to come to life, just because I hope that it doesn't. And that was my, I remember my first impression when she flat out said that it's a golem, and gave the little backstory and all that. I was just like, man, and we always go back. If everybody's magic, then nobody's magic. If everybody has a magic ability, then nobody's unique and special. So and magical people are popping up like daisies in this town all of a sudden. And it's like, okay, a lot of the appeal for me was the relatability of being a normal person in a place where the only magic, the only supernatural, the only weirdness was the town itself, the monsters and how you cope with that. And it was the regular people's struggles with this now. And it was a little bit weird that Sarah was getting mysterious voices in her ear. That set her apart. She was unique. That's what kept her out of the box, is because she had a unique connection to the strangeness of that town. Now everybody's got something magical about them. So it's like, okay, well, whatever. But now I kind of hope that it isn't. I could see it. I could see them trying to invoke some magical spell or some magical something to animate the golem, and then
something
not going awry. But I mean, the golem has been used as an analog for everything from genetic engineering to AI to like anytime you have hubris. You have hubris that you think you can control something, that you're taking the role of God into your hands and creating a life or something animated, and then it gets out of your.
That's why I love the Frankenstein parallel. I feel like it fits it perfectly here.
Yeah. And I think, I mean, I could see that, but again, do we need another random monster? Yeah.
Okay. And again, we do have to also keep in mind, we did get a casting notice when they were filming season 4. That casting call did also go out, where they were casting for a brand new monster in season 4, a monster we haven't seen on the show previously. That was described as a older undead colonial woman type monster. So it seems like we have a lot of new stuff potentially coming in the second half of the season.
So that'll be, I mean, it'll be interesting. I mean, that would indicate that it's not just the 1950s style monsters. At least we'll get one of a colonial era, meaning that the colonial residents were being menaced by something, in there.
Yeah. Going all the way back. And yes, as PM points out, I love how Jeremy has been compiling issues against Roger and has been holding them until now. I've been making a list. This damn Roger is on my shit list. NPC Roger is on my shit list. He's pulled way too much stuff to still be walking around very nonchalantly. And again, to be the one who yanked on this freaking rope in the first place, and then to just see him in the background there just chilling while everyone's doing the hard work to lift this incredibly heavy thing out of the water. Like, look how much Ellis is struggling trying to get this thing out of the water. And NPC Roger's just sitting back there having a fucking cigarette. It's like, bro, you were the one who caused this. Get your ass over here and pull this rope with me. Yeah, Roger's got to go, man. Roger's got to go.
Yeah. I will wrap it back around. I'll finish off my statement on the Golem. No. I just want
fucking Roger.
It reminded me of how you mentioned with on Widow's Bay, how they took the SEAG and they basically wrote their own lore for it. They didn't really go with that. I think that's what From is doing with the Golems. They've used the name, but I think they're going to write. I'm kind of hoping they just write their own lore for it and make up their own rules, because it won't be the first time they've done that. But I hope that rather than trying to tie it to medieval Judaica or any kind of stuff like that, I think Fatima's backstory was enough of a veneer to explain why she would even think of such a thing, coming from Iran and whatever year she came from. But I think they just gave it enough of a veneer to add the Golem as a spooky element. Kind of, I mean, we've spoken about how they use tarot as an element. They bring it in for all the stuff that you associate with it, but they don't really follow by any of it. They're just writing their own thing, and I'm hoping that's what they do with this. we've seen the Scarecrow. We know the Scarecrow is up and about, and it's big. It's a giant thing. It appears to be, at least. So somehow they're going to tie it. I mean, they would almost have to. It would be a huge shock for me if it's
not tied to Fatima.
Right. I mean, I don't see how it can't be. I think everybody would see that at this point. But yeah, I think it has to be. I want to see what they do with it. I hope they're writing their own lore for it, and that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
And yes,
yeah, I mean,
and yes, about Roger too. I agree.
Yeah, Roger's got to fucking go. Fucking Roger. But yeah, no, I guess it will be interesting to see what kind of lore they follow with the Golem. I mean, like you said, Fatima gave a pretty good backstory in terms of why she knows about the Golem, why she's building one, how her father would tell her stories, like, of other faiths and religions and stuff. But I guess it'll be interesting, like you said, to see if they follow the real traditional Hebrew lore behind golems, if she actually has to write out the note, put it in the golem's mouth, do that ritual to animate it, or like you said, will they kind of come up with their own backstory as to how this thing comes to life? I could definitely see it going either way, but could definitely see it going, them doing their own thing with it for sure.
Yeah, Ethan will pop up and go, "Oh, she's a golem maker," and suddenly it becomes canon in the story. He must have got a quote somewhere.
I don't know. One thing holy crap though, one thing I do know is we have West of Westeros for $49.99. Thank you so much, my friend, for the $49.99. Wow, thank you so much. Okay, follow my lead. How many scarecrows are there? I believe there's 3 scarecrows. Just based on what we saw in the trailer, I believe they unearthed 3 scarecrows. How many people had cicadas? Yes. What is the one thing we haven't touched on besides the Ouija board? A voodoo doll, scarecrow. Each of them can transfer the pain to the human. Randall, Julia, Marielle. Ooh, interesting. Very interesting theory, West of Westeros. And thank you again so much for the $49.99, my friend. I mean, yeah, you got a point. I mean, it is, we got 3 scarecrows. We got, it comes for 3. The number 3 in Julie, Randall, and Marielle, it's definitely been a theme on the show up until now. But no, I mean, I in terms of these being like giant voodoo dolls or something, I hadn't really thought of that. I mean, so it's always interesting to hear something new that, we haven't really discussed before. But again, I feel like anything could be possible when it comes to these things. There's so much about them that we don't know. Up until this point, it seems like the only thing we kind of know definitively is that they have some kind of connection to Tabitha or to previous versions of Tabitha. Because we do see in the trailer, it seems like Tabitha was having dreams of these things. We were all wondering at the end of season 3 when we saw that when Tabitha had that dream of her, a younger version of her hiding behind the rock and something kind of coming up and scaring the crap out of her. Based on the trailer, it's looking like that was most likely one of these scarecrows. So that's really the only thing we know about them. They have some kind of connection to Tabitha's past, but other than that, we have no idea who built these things, where they came from. Again, I know a lot of fans have been wondering, are they golems from a previous cycle that another kind of past group of residents built? That's possible as well. I don't know. But again, a lot of people are definitely, like you are, Ravener, as well. A lot of people are drawing or at least noticing a connection potentially between what Fatima's doing right now and trying to bring her golem to life and the time that these things come to life as well. It's very close, so it definitely makes you wonder if it's more than just coincidence, for sure.
Yeah. And it could just be as simple as like a ritual. They say, well, and we joked about this in previous episodes, how there's always in every horror movie there's like the one nerd character that took one semester of ancient Babylonian so they can unravel
they can unravel
I can read the scroll.
I can read that ancient hieroglyph, hand it over. Yeah, and it's always the stoner. But yeah, again, I think it's going to be interesting one way or another. I mean, I have heard the concerns from some fans in terms of, some of the horror elements we're seeing in season 4 being a lot different from some of the horror elements we've seen on the first 3 seasons, which again, I suppose that is to be expected. They kind of have been telling us from the beginning that there's worse things out there than the monsters. The monsters are just the tip of the spear. There's stuff out there that's straight out of your worst nightmares. Things that we were never meant to see was Martin's exact words. Things you were never meant to see. So yeah, maybe this is just another one of those things out there that we haven't come in contact with. Another one of the kind of evils or supernatural creatures that lurks in Fromville. But again, a lot of questions come with this, like not only who built them, but who put them at the bottom of the lake. And are these scarecrows, if they were some kind of protector, and that was one thing that I was thinking maybe. We know that Cannibal Village, the new ruined settlement that they found it, we call it the ruined settlement because it's in ruins. It's complete ruins. Something crazy happened at this place at some point in the past. And now that they're unearthing these things so close to it, you start to wonder, were these scarecrows actually responsible for the original destruction of Cannibal Village? Were these things the original things that destroyed them? And is that why they're at the bottom of the lake? Did that current cycle of Fromville back then find some way to kind of put these scarecrows down, dump them to the bottom of the lake so they wouldn't be a threat anymore? And then along comes NPC Roger just yanking on random ropes.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I could see that being the case, where maybe these things were built by a previous cycle as some form of protection, even if they weren't specifically golems. They were built for some form of protection. They grew beyond their creator's control, smashed up the ruined settlement, and they had to find some way to put them down and sink them to the bottom of the lake. I think it could be something like that. But who knows? Again, we really have no idea. The only thing we know is that Tabitha seems to have some kind of connection to them, or at least has seen them in her past lives or when she was a child in some of her dreams.
Yeah, it does appear that episode 5, if nothing else, episode 5 will move the overarching plot forward.
It'll move the needle, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. I was happy that we got small, if not information, we got small confirmations about certain things. Certain things.
Again, we are getting stuff like, and that's why even though episode 3 and 4 haven't been my favorites, I'm like you. I do think episode 1 and 2 have been their strongest episodes so far, but we're at least getting some interesting nuggets of information that gives us something.
Yeah, and even little things that can dispel or disqualify some of my personal theories. Because I thought, well, of all the different theories about how Sophia gets caught out, I think eventually she's going to get caught out. Still not sure how. And I was thinking, well, maybe they'll figure out that he was a Catholic priest. He was wearing an ecclesiastical collar, but I thought for sure that some Protestant denominations do that as well, and they could have a kid. And but we saw. It said Pastor Dunn instead of like Father Dunn or the way that you would talk about it to a Catholic priest. So it was a very small little confirmation or a very small little affirmation. So it allowed me to discount that Catholic, that Pastor Dunn was a Catholic, so that that won't be. However, Sophia does get caught out, that won't be it. So that was kind of cool. I liked that aspect. There were quite a few aspects, and we also got a confirmation. There were quite a few aspects that I did like, as much as I didn't like the episode as a whole, mainly because of the writing. There were some things that I did like, and as I mentioned, the acting and stuff. We got confirmation that Sophia was able to know that Sarah didn't dump that she didn't obey. Right before
all the way from over near the pool, kind of kind of confirming what we kind of suspected, that the man in yellow can tell what they're doing at all times.
Yeah, which is kind of almost a more scary power than the shape-shifting, really, when it has awareness of everything that's going on, really.
On that level. Yeah, for sure. It's that was a pretty, and again, seeing the man in yellow, seeing Julie's flashback, seeing that her bookmark little strategy didn't work. At least we're seeing Julie and Randall actively try things. They're actively they're actively coming up with theories as to how to use this story walking, and they're putting those theories into practice. They're actually trying. I feel like they're heading in the right direction. Yeah, they're going to have a few bumps along the road. It's not going to be super simple for Julie, but I at least like that storyline and where it's going. We're at least seeing them try new stuff. They're trying things we haven't seen before. They're trying to figure this thing out. So that I do like. The only thing I want to see happen at some point is Julie and Randall kind of join Boyd's inner circle. We got Boyd, Tabitha, Jade, Kenny, Ellis, Henry, all of them working together, Donna, all of them working together for the first time. You know, it's even referred to as Boyd's inner circle in the episode synopsis. That's the only thing that PM and I were discussing this on the last stream. That's one thing that we would love to see. Julie and Randall kind of join Boyd's kind of crew, because they need to start sharing more information. Yes, Boyd is working with Jade now, and they're actually finally kind of on the right track and heading in the right direction, but they need to bring Julie into this as well. Like all of this stuff, everyone that's working on a vital part of getting answers, they all need to be working together. So at some point, Julie and Randall need to kind of tell Tabitha, Boyd, and Jade what they've been doing, what she can do, and how that could potentially help all of them. Like they need to start sharing a little bit more. So I do hope Julie and Randall join up with Boyd and the rest of them at some point. But just to close this out for West of Westeros, again, thank you so much for the $49.99, my friend, and thank you for the $1.99 as well for PM Philosophy. Big heart for our awesome PM. And of course, another $4.99 from West of Westeros. Thank you so much, my friend. 200 viewers and 40-something likes on this live. Please support our favorite channels. Go press like or spend the night in the box. Well, I promise you do not have to spend the night in the box if you don't press like. That is totally cool. But thank you so much, West of Westeros. I very much appreciate that, my friend. Very much appreciate the support. And I owe you an army of glitter bombs, just a whole fleet of glitter bombs heading towards West of Westeros's way. Here's another for good measure, another glitter bomb. But thank you so much, my friend. Thank you so much for the support. I very do much appreciate it.
Very kind, very kind. Yeah, and somebody informed me that like the hype button, because I use the hype button when I'm on, but I didn't realize it was only for mobile. I don't know that it's not. I guess it's not for desktop.
I don't know if it's on PC yet. I do believe the hype button thing is only mobile and tablets up until now, and they only give you 3 hypes a week. You can only hype 3 times a week, and then it resets for me, it resets every Monday.
Yeah, I know. And actually it does actually help, because it was funny that Revolutionary War channel of that lady that talks with the Boston accent that I love so much. She, it's all Revolutionary War all the time is the name of the channel. I actually hyped that up, and she ended up getting in like the top 5 or something for small channels, because small channels get a boost, an amplification.
Yeah, we get a boost. I mean, channels that are, like channels that are, anything like under 100,000 subs, you get a nice boost from those hype buttons if you get enough of them pressed, for sure.
Yeah,
because I've seen it happen. I've seen sometimes where I'll put a video out and it's doing okay, and I'll look back maybe a few hours later and I'll see like 10 or 20,000 hype points, and all of a sudden the video starts taking off. So it does help. It definitely does help, for sure. Sure.
Now,
thank you so much, PM. Very much appreciate that. And again, big shout out to, I haven't seen him in the chat tonight yet, but a big shout out to Rogue Prince, one of our mods who's been here for a very long time, who has recently just informed me, which super crazy, never in a million years would I have thought this. But today we recently passed 36,000 subscribers and 13 million total views for the channel. And I've also been informed that for season 4 of From, our channel is the most viewed From channel on all of YouTube. So that is crazy. I never in a million years would have expected that. Apparently we've gotten like somewhere like over 1.3 million views on our season 4 content alone. So that was fucking crazy. Would never have expected that. And that is thanks to each and every one of you. That is nothing that we are doing. That is thanks to each and every one of you guys in the chat, supporting the channel, watching the videos, hyping them. I really can't thank each and every one of you enough. Like, this really has become such a freaking cool community that I'm so proud to be even a small part of. And super thankful to all my co-hosts who have helped us get here. Ravener, PM, Snuggy, Aldis. I saw Snug in the chat a little bit earlier. We got to get Snug on here. It's been too long since Snug's been on here. I know the people miss Snug. So Snug, I'm going to hit you up, buddy. If you're free next week, love to get you on, my friend. But
remember the 10K. Remember the 10K giveaway?
It feels like yesterday. It really does. It feels like it was just yesterday that we were doing the 10,000 subscriber giveaway here on the channel. Big giveaway that we did. Yeah, that does feel like it was just yesterday sometimes. But yeah, I'm just so thankful to each and every one of you. It's just super thankful. Thank you guys. Really. I love
another
doing
big
it.
one.
I
Another
do.
big one from West of Westeros.
Oh crap. Okay, let's get to that. Another one from West of Westeros. Thank you so much, West of Westeros, for $19.99. Ravener, this one's all you, my friend.
Oh, it says special shout out to Lord Ravener. Thanks to you, I'm addicted. Hello, my name is Archie's daddy. I'm an addict. Jeremy, you owe Ravener fine dining DoorDash plus French fries with 2 cups of ice and 20 napkins. I didn't realize when I shifted you towards the super chat, I didn't realize it was all about me.
It was all about you.
You know how I am, man. I'm blushing as I sit here.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't turn away some DoorDash. Nah.
No,
it was funny. I did
owe you some DoorDash.
I warned him when West of Westeros was asking me about where to find From, how to catch up on it, because he had intended to binge. He was new to it and he wanted to binge all the seasons before season 4 started. And I was like, man, you can do it and it'll be worthwhile. But man, you get in that Discord and you are going to see some theories. And it is a rabbit hole. Yeah. And he learned the hard way. He saw the theories. But it's incredible, man, the stuff that people come up with in the Discord, the theories and stuff, and a lot of joking around, a lot of fun. I try to do a little bit of clowning myself in there, probably more than I do normally, just because you got to keep it light sometimes, because it'll become like the House of the Dragon kind of stuff where people get very serious about it and don't they don't listen to counter argument or whatever. It's like, man, this is a fun show. We're talking about and I find myself doing it too. It's like, this is unbelievable. I'm outraged. This is I'm not buying this magical world where monsters come out to eat you at night and they're doing this. How dare they? How dare they write this into the story? You're like, okay, I need to relax a little.
Yeah. No, I know the feeling. But no, I'm just super grateful. This has been it's so different from a lot of the other shows that we've covered and a lot of the other fandoms. Like you just mentioned, the Game of Thrones fandom, a lot different.
Not that it's bad, but they're just very serious about it.
Yeah, not that it's bad. It's just different, and they're 2 totally different shows, which is understandable. But yeah, I'm just super thankful for the for the awesome From crowd that we have hanging out with us here, and just thankful, just super thankful.
And super cool I'm also
thankful too. We got Gerald Morales, Gerald, excuse me, I can't speak tonight. Gerald Morris, who has gifted us one of the super stickers sent. Stay hydrated. I will certainly stay hydrated. I got my water. This is just water. I'm not a drinker myself. I'm just water. But yes, I will stay hydrated, my friend. Thank you so much for the gift of the super sticker. Very much appreciate that. I don't know why they don't show up on StreamYard, so I can't highlight them and put them on like the screen like I do super chats, but I do see it in the chat. So thank you so much, Gerald. Very much appreciate you, my friend. And we also have 5 gifted memberships who have just been gifted from our pal Wolf Spear. Thank you so much. Wow, that is incredibly generous of you. Wolf Spear has just gifted 5 memberships. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 memberships gifted. Thank you so much, Wolf Spear. And of course, anyone who is a member, I know we recently got some requests for a scarecrow emoji and a Tabitha no emoji. And I am proud to present to you that we have both of them available now. We got Tabitha no emojis, and we have our scarecrow emojis have officially been uploaded. Again, whenever you guys request new emojis, I always try to fulfill that request. But yeah, it was just really about kind of finding the right image that I could make a no Tabitha emoji out of. And then lo and behold, someone dropped the perfect one in our Discord. And I thought, okay, that's it. That's going to be the one. So we have the Tabitha no emojis, and we have the scarecrow emojis. And thank you guys so much for becoming members of the channel. Thank you so much, Wolf Spear, for the gift of the 5 memberships, and everyone else who's been a member for. Again, we got Snuggy here, who has just dropped his member chat. Been a member for 40 freaking months, practically as long as I've had a channel, pretty much. Snuggy has been a member for. Thank you so much, Snuggy. Very much appreciate you, my friend. Why isn't it Ravers? Handsome Mug snug on camera.
Yeah, one of these days. Well, my
One of
camera's
these-
old too. It's like a 720p. It's an old one. I had to do one. I had to turn it on for some just some completely unrelated stuff. Yeah, I'm like a fat techno Viking, I guess you could say.
Ravener looks like a Viking. Yeah, Ravener looks like a Viking for sure. For sure. But thank you so much, Snug, my friend. And again, yeah, I'm going to hit you up, Snug, tomorrow. Would love to get you on next week. I mean, we get so many Snug requests. It's not even funny. People miss you, Snug. We miss you, pal.
Yeah, come out of retirement, Snugs.
Yeah, come out of retirement, even if it's just for a week. Even if it's just for a week. We also have West of Westeros again for $4.99. This one is added towards Kiwi Skirt. Was the first person besides Jeremy that accepted me first. Well, Kiwi Skirt is absolutely awesome. And again, I'm super thankful for Kiwi Skirt. She's been one of the coolest mods that we've had here on the channel, since the very beginning, pretty much. And she's always been super nice, super helpful. If you need a link, Kiwi Skirt has your back. She's got you. So thank you. Thank you so much, West of Westeros. Very much appreciate it. Very much appreciate it. And we have Jen Hack for $5. Thank you so much, Jen Hack. I very much appreciate you. My dream is Jeremy's dream. I want him to be able to be a streamer full time. No one deserves it more. And no one deserves it more. And is this good? The last 4 years have been great. Wow. Thank you so much. Our friend Jen Hack from Down Under. Thank you so much, Jen. I very much appreciate that. And yeah, that is the goal. I mean, I would love to be able to just do this full time one day. That would be great. I love doing this. I started the channel because this is genuinely something that I like doing. Like I've always been a film and TV buff. I've always been studying storytelling and stuff like that ever since I was very young. And I've just always loved doing stuff like this. And yeah, I'm just surprised it took me this long to start an actual channel. I probably should have done it sooner, but yeah, super thankful to each and every one of you who are helping making this dream a reality for me. I can't thank you all enough. And yeah, I would love to be able to do this full time. And at this rate, maybe I will be able to soon. That'd be great. Get my ass off of the roofs every summer, doing pounding nails and swinging a hammer, doing construction and landscaping. Definitely, I would love to be able to stop doing that. But no, I just love doing this stuff. Even if this channel never grew past 1,000 subs, even if I only had 30 people hanging out in the chat, I would still be just as thankful just to have people to talk about some of my favorite things that I like with everybody. And that's what it's all about. Having fun, talking about the stuff that we like, sharing our ideas, our knowledge, our takes, our predictions, our theories. That's basically all we do here. We just want to provide a place for people to come and hang out. That's it. Nothing too special. But again, big thank you to each and every one of you who have helped make this channel what it has become. I never in a million years would I have thought this would happen, but so grateful to all of you. Absolutely.
Yeah. And the chat, you turned me on to From very early on in season 1 and said, hey, there's something to this one, because I have such a hard time, and I blame Hollywood for putting out shit, and it's very hard, very difficult to find good series, good shows, even good movies that are worth talking about. Yeah. And then there's certain ones we discussed. Widow's Bay. It's a pretty interesting show, and I highly recommend it. And I have no problem signal boosting it. But it'll be one of those tough ones to talk about week to week because it is so self-contained.
Yeah. And it's not like there's a huge mystery aspect to it either. Like From, Lost, shows that are kind of centered around this mystery box style of storytelling. There's always something to talk about because there's always something to theorize about. But yeah, a show like Widow's Bay, there's a little bit of a mystery aspect to it in terms of, the cliffhanger that the episode ended on and a little bit of stuff in the background. But like you said, for the most part, it's kind of self-contained stories that we're getting every week. And I don't mind that format. I actually kind of like that format where we get a self-contained beginning, middle, and end in every single episode, while the main overarching plot continues from episode to episode. I don't mind that kind of style of storytelling. But yeah, Widow's Bay is fun. I mean, it's fun. I still am not in love with it yet, I guess, just because I'm a New Englander. I've been a New Englander my whole life, and I feel like they're doing some things right and they're getting some things just utterly wrong when it comes to New England mythology.
Oh,
But
okay.
but I'm going to continue to watch, definitely.
Yeah, I just like the quirkiness of the characters.
I do. Yeah,
They're
me
so funny. I tried to introduce Jen to it today, and she went to sleep. She was snoring, so I was like,
too.
"Damn it!" But
Not for everybody.
that's so dry, man. The dry humor, and they send the travel writer to the historical society, and she's like, "Oh, then we could talk about our witch trials." Yep, we got them all and burned them. A real point of
Yeah.
pride. It's like, that's so strange.
And as Golem Child says in the chat, episode 4 was good. The latest episode, it was pretty decent.
Yeah.
But yeah. Western Westeros for 199 asks, how do I gift memberships? I believe it's different from like device to device, or if you're on a PC, I'm not really too sure actually. I know if you're on like a mobile, if you go where the super chat option is, there should also be an option to gift memberships right where the super chat option is. But you do not have to. You've already done more than enough, Western Westeros. So please, I hope you're asking for another channel because you've already supported us so much already, my friend. But again, I do believe there where the super chat function is. I think there's an option for gifting memberships under it as well.
Yeah, it should be all in the same place.
And
but
speaking of, Jesus, another 1999 from West of Westeros. Thank you so much, my friend. You better not gift any memberships, please. You have done enough, please. I'm
gonna
starting
need
to
more
feel
glitter.
guilty. I'm feeling. I am gonna run out of glitter. I'm gonna run out of glitter bombs. West of Westeros for 1999. My favorite reason for being part of this channel is that he follows all the shows I adore: Game of Thrones, Welcome to Derry from Marvel. Awesome stuff. Yeah, I love all that stuff, and I'm so glad that you guys do too. Yeah, I mean, whether it's the Song of Ice and Fire universe, whether it's the From universe, whether it's Shogun, Severance, Marvel stuff, Welcome to Derry, we love diving into all the stuff here. Anything that we cover here on the show, we cover it because it's something we like. You'll never catch PM and I or Ravener and I up here covering a show that we don't like, that we don't love. We only talk about shows that we really, really, really like. But yeah, no, that's awesome. I mean, I'm so thrilled that you guys like some of the same stuff that we like, and that's what has made this fun, to begin with, having these discussions.
Yeah, that's what I always say. Until the check clears from MGM Plus, I may or may not like the episode. I reserve the right to disagree, to not like it.
Yeah.
There's been some great ones though. Shogun really stands out. Blue Ties brought up Night of the Seven Kingdoms. That was such a relief, such a charming show, even set in the world of Westeros. The Ice and Fire universe. It was like, wow, such a comfy and satisfying show. I enjoyed it immensely. Yeah. And it was fun to compare and contrast how it differed from the book and how they interpreted certain things and showed it. But no, that was a very satisfying one. But pound for pound though, I mean, as much as I want to complain about this past episode, From has been pretty darn satisfying for
it's been
3.5 seasons. Yeah,
it's been good. Yeah, I mean, it's just such a unique show. It's definitely the most unique show that's on TV right now. Like when you look at when you look at the cast of characters, when you look at the storylines that it kind of plays with, the mystery box aspect, they're really good. Not only the mystery box aspect, but for me, what I really like is the really good human element from the human drama. Just seeing the journey that these characters are going on is just as, if not more, rewarding than getting answers to the mysteries. But yeah, they just got something very unique here. They got something very unique, very special that works, and it's just fun. I mean, this shows like this don't come around too often. There's a reason why this is the first show that's really had this kind of fan base around it really since Lost. There really hasn't been a fan base like this dedicated to this kind of mystery since Lost, and that was over 20 years ago now. So yeah, good shows like this, they don't come around too often. So when they do come around, hell yeah, we want to grab them, hold on to them, dive in head first, and just have fun with it. Because before you know, it'll be over and it'll be gone. But yeah,
and this is
I'm enjoying it.
One strange thing about From. I mean, they got their fair share of cursing and they've got their fair share of gore, which kind of is. It's not refreshing, but I don't mind seeing a little bit of splatter, a little bit of gore. I've been a horror movie fan for as long as time existed. I like the gelatin. I like the gelatin liver that the man in yellow is eating. That jiggly gelatin.
It looked really good. It looked good, and just the look on Doug's face when he's chomping on it is fucking hilarious. He's got such a funny look on his face when he's eating into that liver. Yeah, that was a funny scene. That was so funny.
I was like, oh, wait a minute, is that the hepatic artery? Yes, it is.
And of course, we got 199 again from Westeros. Please help me stop spending Go like this live. Yes, please, for West of Westeros' sake, not for mine at this point, for his sake of his wallet. Like the stream. Thank you so much, West of Westeros. Very much appreciate you, my friend. But please, no more. You've given too much. Please, no more. I am starting to feel guilty. But thank you so much. Thank you. And I did see someone asking where Widow's Bay plays on. Jen, yeah, Widow's Bay is on Apple TV. I should have known that the chat's got you covered. This is why we get such an awesome chat. Yeah. The people in the chat are just the fucking best. But yes, Widow's Bay is on Apple TV, and we're going to talk a little bit about Widow's Bay towards the end of the stream, because Raven and I have been keeping up with it.
We did a small catch up. We did a small catch up stream on Discord of the first 3 episodes. I did pick up the 4th episode today, so I would not be surprised if at some point there will be another, maybe a 1, 2, 3, 4, because the episodes are only like 35 to 37 minutes. They're not full hours, so you can really knock out. Keep your eye on the events section of our Discord. That's where you'll find a lot of the live streams. I try to give people at least a little bit of heads up. My introduction to Widow's Way was actually Paul Miss Shelby doing an impromptu one, and I was the only one in there. And I was like, "That's fine with me, man. I'll run it for one person. It means doesn't matter. Yeah,
why not? Right? I mean, if it's a good episode, something you're going to watch anyway. Why the hell not? And yes, I'm hearing good things about Widow's Bay. Anyone watching? Yeah, we're watching it. We're watching it so far. And again, we'll talk a little bit about episode 4 towards the end of this stream. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we're watching it. Ravener and I are watching it. I know PM's watching it as well, and we're enjoying it. I mean, I think I know Ravener and I know BK. Paul Shelby, I know he's really enjoying it. He's loving it from what I can tell from his Discord comments. And other people are as well. Again, it's been a good show. I might be a little too critical of it just because I am a New Englander. So I kind of see the accuracies and the inaccuracies, because again, Widow's Bay does a pretty good job for the most part at painting kind of seaside New England life, but there's some things that they get egregiously wrong as a New Englander. So
are they even trying with the accents at all, really?
No, they're not even trying with the accents. And that's another part of it. The accents are so off. None of them have New England accents. But then again, that's kind of par for the course for a lot of New England and Boston kind of led shows or movies. Very rarely will I see films get a New England accent right. Which is fine. I don't really care too much about that, but it does kind of take away from the immersiveness, I guess. But no, I'm enjoying Widow's Bay. I think episode 4 was a really, really fun episode. Like the twist at the end of episode 4 was fucking fun. It was really fun. Like once I won't spoil it here. We'll talk about it towards the end of the stream. But yeah, if you guys have not watched Widow's Bay yet, get out there, check out Widow's Bay. The episodes are really quick. They're only like 35 to 40 minute long episodes, so they're kind of short, but very fun watch. And Ravener and I will be talking about Widow's Bay every Thursday night right here on these streams towards the end of the stream.
Yeah.
But right now,
oh, I'm sorry. I was just gonna say, and it's an easy watch too. It's not cumbersome. It's not something that you have to take notes on or that you're gonna get buried in lore. It's very straightforward. So if you want something that's very consumable, that's one thing I really enjoy about that, because I don't need everything to be a doctoral dissertation on ancient whatever. I just want sometimes to laugh, to laugh at the quirkiness of the dialogue and the dry humor, and plus the ongoing, and they've done it so far very masterfully. The through threads that weave through all the episodes, but yet as you mentioned, some of the episodes they present a problem and kind of resolve it within the span of the the episode, which is very satisfying so far, at least for me.
It's satisfying, self-contained storytelling, and I can appreciate that every once in a while, for sure. And again, it's got a really good aspect of comedy to it. Yes, not only does it have a really good kind of horror and supernatural element to it, but yeah, got some really good comedy aspects to it as well.
Yeah.
For sure. But again, and we're going to talk a little bit more Widow's Bay towards the end. But tonight here, we are going to watch the episode 5 trailer for From. Now, again, like you said earlier, Ravener, I know episode 4 wasn't your favorite episode of the season, and I've seen some other comments that have shared that sentiment. But based on what we're seeing from the episode 5 trailer, episode 5 does look like it is going to be that episode that we thought episode 4 was going to be, that big episode that really kind of takes a big leap forward with their plot progression. And just based on some of the elements that we're seeing in the season 4 trailer, in the episode 5 trailer, it's looking like it's going to be pretty interesting. So I'm going to play the trailer for the upcoming episode 5 of From, and then I want to hear from each and every one of you in the chat. What are your thoughts? What are your theories? What stood out to you from the trailer? What are you expecting to see in next week's episode? And of course, you as well, Ravener. Let me know what sticks out to you, my friend. But lo and behold, here is the season 4, episode 5 trailer.
Show me what I used to know. Show me what's in here that'll help us leave.
Is there something in that lake we need to be afraid of? I think I've seen them before.
There's something old here, and it's feeding off our suffering, and it doesn't stop.
The answers you sought come wrapped in painful truths.
How does this help? How do I stop it from happening this time?
Oof. How do I stop it from happening this time? Looks like there's a fucking another massacre coming, guys. Like we've been predicting. It looks like these cycles might all end in one giant fucking massacre. But we'll get to that when we get to the end of the trailer. Let us know what you guys think in the chat. What stood out to you for the trailer, and what are some of your episode 5 theories and predictions? Oh, it looks like we have some more. We got West of Westeros again. Jeez, West of Westeros is being too generous now. Thank you so much, West of Westeros, for the $1.99. Can I quietly join y'all's call? Yeah, absolutely. I have no problem with that. Yeah, when we get towards the end, when we're hopping into the Widow's Bay stuff, I'll send you the link, West of Westeros. If you want to pop on for a little bit with us, yeah, absolutely. You can do that. And another $1.99. Thank you so much, West of Westeros. Post a smiley face if I get to join the call. Hey, you don't have to post a smiley face. I'm going to send you the link towards the end. And if you want to pop on for a little bit, you will be welcome to, my friend. I think you've well earned the right. And that is something that Raven and I and PM and I have talked a little bit about doing a little bit more of at some point, just doing some call-in streams where I kind of just throw the link in the chat, and anybody who wants to pop on and hang out with us and talk from with us for a little bit will be more than welcome to do that. Maybe we'll set up our first one next week, and we'll do a live call-in stream. But yeah, keep an eye on your Discord messages, West of Westeros. I'll drop the link there in a little bit, my friend. And thank you again so much for all of the gifted memberships, all the super chats. You guys have been just absolutely freaking just insane. Absolutely insane. Thank you so much. Thank you all so much. I owe some more glitter. Some more glitter.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, Wes. Hey, remember? Yeah, Widow's Bay. Hey, if you don't want to, if you want to steer it back to
it'll be before we talk some Widow's Bay. Don't worry about that. You want to get on here and talk some From with us? You're going to get on here and talk some From with us, my friend. Absolutely.
Jeremy will testify. If somebody's on the panel, they can kind of take it in a direction.
You can talk whatever you want to talk about. From Game of Thrones, anything you want to talk about, West of Westeros, you got it, my friend. Let's do it. But yeah, keep an eye on your Discord there. I'm going to send you the link in a little bit. But yeah, again, I'll play the trailer one more time for anyone who maybe didn't see it, or for everybody who wants to maybe see it one more time. This is the trailer for season 4, episode 5, the upcoming new episode of From. Let me know what you guys think. What sticks out to you in the trailer, and what are some of your thoughts and theories heading into the new episode, which is titled, "Oh, What a Strange Trip It's Been." So it looks like Jade's trip is not over.
Show me what I used to know. Show me what's in here that'll help us leave.
Is there something in that lake we need to be afraid of? I think I've seen them before.
There's something old here, and it's feeding off our suffering and doesn't stop.
The answers you sought come wrapped in painful truths.
How does this help? How do I stop it from happening this time?
Oof. How does this help? How does it start me from? How do I stop it from happening this time? Yeah, again, pretty interesting trailer. It looks like things are actually really going to start popping off in next week's episode, in this week's episode, episode 5. We have Jade and Boyd heading out into the forest, and it seems we have Jade out here just trying to commune. And we've seen Jade do this a few times in previous episodes where he's just screaming out into the void in Fromville, trying to connect, trying to commune with this place to try and get some of his memories back. But here, it looks like in this episode, something answers. Something in the form of what appears to be a younger version of Jade, a younger version of himself. So I'm looking forward to episode 5. Episode 5 does look like it's going to be kind of the episode we thought episode 4 was going to be.
Yeah. And we knew 3 little raw mushrooms wasn't going to do the trick. He probably doubled down on it.
Yeah.
Because that's why they dry them. They're more, because I guess mushrooms are like 90% water, so you have to have like 10 times as much fresh than you do when it's dry. And dry you will touch the sky after a little bit, but it looks like he's finally getting to the goal of communing with whatever.
Yeah.
I love, and this it's going to tie into the scene with him being buried or covered up by that appeared later in the trailer. And poor Boyd, he's playing the role of Randall. He's with somebody going off doing something very psychedelic, the same way Randall does with Julie. And he just he's the guy that rubs your head and tells you it's going to be okay and puts a stuffed animal in your hand. So you don't freak out. Freaking out, man.
You're freaking out, man. And again, this is Fromville. These are Fromville, even as Donna says, these are Fromville mushrooms from a haunted forest. Maybe they just take a little bit longer to work, is all. But it looks like the mushrooms are bearing some kind of fruit here in episode 5, if the mushrooms are even causing it, and it's just, or if it's just coming from Jade itself. I don't know. But based on the haze, that they put over, that little hazy filter that they put over the trailer, it definitely at least is giving us the impression that it is because of the mushrooms. And he had a whole tray of them there, so I imagine he's probably just been eating mushrooms, the whole day. But it looks like he's finally getting some. Looks like he's finally getting some results here, where he gets some kind of communion with what looks to be a younger version of himself.
Yeah. Hey, that's a story as old as time. These edibles aren't working. I'll take some more.
I need more. Yeah. No, don't do that.
But it's neat though, and he's at least doing something. We saw Julie in episode 4 doing it. I loved how she was trying to figure things out, and then she did try something, and yes, it didn't work, but at least she was trying something. And her logic was, in a crazy place like that, her logic was somewhat sound. I mean, it was at least reasonable in an unreasonable setting. So I was like, okay, yeah, I can buy into it, and that's part of what really makes me enjoy some of the character writing, some of the interactions that they do. If it makes sense, if it somehow just jibes in my mind, like, okay, yeah, I could definitely see, even if it doesn't work. I was like, okay, well, they weren't off, they weren't.
I could at least see outrageous. That character doing that. Yes, and that is one thing that I have at least enjoyed for the most part when it comes to most of the characters. At this point, we kind of have their motives and their personalities down. So when we see them doing certain things, it's like, okay, I can see that character making that choice. I can see that character going down that path. And I think Julie and Randall's storyline is a really good example of that. Seeing Julie, we had a feeling Julie was going to be experimenting with the story walking in season 4 until she gets a handle on it. And they're doing it in a very interesting manner where it's not just her, kind of skipping from time to time without actually trying something definitive. I like the bookmark idea. I think it gives her something specific to focus on within the story walking, as opposed to just randomly popping up in different kind of time places. At least now she's trying to direct her ability. She's trying to focus it to travel where she needs to go, where she wants to go. So again, I've been enjoying the Julie and Randall storyline in season 4 so far. I feel like it's actually been one of the better storylines in season 4 so far, actually.
Yeah, I thought her little trick that she did with Randall, where she had her symbol in her pocket when she pulled it out real dramatically. You're like, right. When she was trying to explain it to him, she was all proud of her. And he called her on it. He's like, "You've been waiting since we were in town to do that, right?" And she's like, "Yes." Yeah. It was so, I mean, it made her seem like a real person, like a real character.
It did. And that's what I like about a lot of these characters. They do feel like real people. As opposed to, I mean, you look at some movies and some TV shows these days, and the characters are all just completely unattainable things that you just don't see in everyday life. This is what I love about From. Everybody that is stuck here, they really do come across like just your average everyday person that got stuck in this nightmarish hellhole, all from different backgrounds, yes, but they feel like real people. And sometimes characters can get polished a little bit too much to the point where they don't feel like real people. But From does a really good job at making these people really feel human. And that's one of the biggest parts of the show that I actually love. The human aspect of the show, these human elements, the journeys that the actual characters are going on, not so much solving the mystery itself. Like, I like the mystery too, but man, I love the human element of this show and how these characters really do feel like regular people that have been stuck in this horrible situation. But we have West of Westeros again for another $4.99. Lord Ravenor, don't you dare get me addicted to another show. And yes, someone is asking, Widow's Bay is on MGM. No, Widow's Bay is on Apple TV, Apple Plus. The Apple Plus streaming service you can find Widow's Bay on.
And West of Westeros, just because of that, there's going to be a watch party on Discord. So keep your eyes peeled.
Keep your eyes peeled, West of Westeros. But check it out if you haven't already, guys. Widow's Bay is pretty fun. But yeah, I think this is going to be interesting. Again, for me, heading into season 4, the Jade storyline is one that I was looking forward to the most. And so far, the Jade and Boyd teaming up together, their storyline together, for me, has been the best storyline in season 4 so far. Like, there are some storylines that I'm not really super loving, directions that some characters took that I didn't really expect them to take, or maybe aren't really enjoying where they're going. But this storyline, I am loving. I'm loving everything they're doing with Jade and Boyd. I love this team up. I love that Boyd is actually taking Jade seriously for once and actually really kind of trying to help him. Whereas earlier, I imagine, Boyd would have kind of just laughed Jade off. I like this. I feel like this duo of Boyd and Jade, they're going to get some shit done. They're going to lead to getting us some answers. And I'm hoping that that's going to start right here in episode 5. Just based on this trailer alone, it's looking like Jade, at the very least, Jade is getting into some hairy shit by going back down into those caves and encountering the monsters. And speaking of the monsters, and I know you've had a similar kind of sentiment, and I've seen a lot of people say it in the comment sections as well. People want more monsters, more of the original monsters. I mean, we're 4 episodes into the show and we haven't really gotten any monster action.
Right,
really.
Like a cameo by Smiley, yeah.
We got that one cameo by Smiley and that one story walking scene of Julie going back to the RV scene. Other than that, we haven't seen any of the original monsters. And I totally understand what people are saying by that. And we've been seeing a lot of comments of people saying that we want more monsters. And I do understand that. Again, the original monsters are original Fromville monsters. They're what made the show great. I mean, yes, you definitely have to have that natural progression where the threats get a little bit bigger and a little bit more dangerous. And now with the introduction of the Man in Yellow, who appears to be the main villain of the show, I understand why maybe the monsters have had a little less screen time. But man, I miss the monsters too. Again, the original monsters on this show, they are the most fascinating part of the horror elements. Like, yeah, the Man in Yellow is cool, but I'm not like super loving the direction that the Man in Yellow's character has taken so far in season 4 in terms of, you know, him being a shapeshifter, turning into Sophia. It's just not what I expected the character to go. But I am really loving what Jade and Boyd are doing, though. I love this storyline. I love where they're heading. And again, I think we're going to get some really interesting stuff when Jade goes down into that freaking cave.
Yeah, and they've done really well with that when they've done that. Like last year, they paired Kenny with Boyd quite a bit, and that elevated both of them. Having them pair up like this, and I wonder if Donna and Tabitha are going to be paired up now. I mean, we saw it on their little walk and stuff, and they had a little heart to heart. What that all that did for me was, I honestly, that put her. I had not really considered Donna to be in the Deadpool for this season.
That's a Donna foreshadowing death scene if I've ever fucking seen one.
Yeah, Donna is in the death pool for me now. Probably a dramatic, heartbreaking ending for at the end of this season. What do you now? I know you always ask the questions. I want to ask you this question. What did you think of Sarah getting hooked right back? I thought she was out. Just when you thought you're out, they pull you back in. What do you think about her heel turn or her whatever, her resusceptibility? Oh, you're muted. Did you mute yourself?
Oh, yeah, here we go. PM and I were talking a little bit about this as well, where, you know, we just, you know, Sarah has come so far. She's come so far since season 1 in terms of kind of getting a handle on this thing, going from being incredibly manipulated to the point where she was willing to kill a child. In a gruesome manner too, with a fucking scalpel. You were going to take out a kid with a scalpel, like that's savage. She goes from that to kind of beating it. It seemed like Sarah got to the point where she kind of beat these voices to the point where she wasn't going to be manipulated by them, at least not very easily. It did seem like it was a very easily regression from Sarah's character, just from a character standpoint. I wasn't expecting her to be that susceptible that easily. I mean, seeing someone fall in a pool, that's all it, and that's where I just don't get the logic behind it. If I'm Sarah knows these voices are manipulative. You know, she knows that they lie to her. She knows that they can't be trusted. But even if you can listen to them, even if she sees Sophia fall into that pool, one single person falling into that pool was enough for you to risk everybody's lives by dumping that into the water, the communal water that everybody drinks from. One teenager falling into a pool was enough for you to risk killing everybody in town.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really like that direction for Sarah's character. I thought it was, again, I thought she was past this. I thought if you're going to get the Man in Yellow to manipulate Sarah again, I would have thought it would have been something a little harder for her to kind of choose between.
Yeah, I had her, and the way they overlaid Sophia's story about Abraham and stuff, she was basically explaining exactly what she was doing. There was never anything in the water, and there was never going to be anything in the water. It was purely to see if she would do it, to see how deeply Sophia was seeing how deeply her hooks are in.
And that's why we get that story of Abraham, the story of Abraham, and what God put Abraham through, not because he wanted him to kill his kid, because he wanted to test his faith. It's a test of faith at the end of the day. And yeah, you're right. It's Sophia testing the waters to see if she can manipulate Sarah again.
So the next thing the voices tell Sarah to do will be something
that will be the thing. Exactly. But I just want to give a shout out to Think Story, who's in the chat. What is up, Think Story? Love your channel. Think Story is a massive channel that also covers From as well. Yeah, I'm worried for Donna. I am very, very much worried. Ever since we saw that scene of Donna and Tabitha, Donna kind of just saying, hey, if anything dangerous needs to get done, I'll be the one to do it. It very much felt like a foreshadowing for Donna's inevitable death. So yeah, I'm worried about Donna now. I am very worried about Donna now.
And that kind of came suddenly too. I mean, I know people had talked about it a little bit, but that was more based on a feeling. This kind of really put her front and center on the Deadpool that she's going to sacrifice herself. I thought it was weird. Now Sarah, because Sarah was getting I liked how they've done this. Elgin got grace or got forgiven or whatever, received some grace from Fatima. She didn't hold, they went through some stuff and he was pretty much in the wrong, and she kind of like forgave him and brought him back in. And then Sarah immediately got grace from Elgin. Elgin gave her grace in the church, and when they were discussing that whole pouring the water situation. And then Bacta was like, hey, you've got a place here, offering Sarah. And I think that is probably a foreshadowing to what Sarah's going to do that's bad. She's going to get to work in the diner, and she's going to have a lot more access to the food, a lot more access. And it's going to be so. Now the question is, does Sarah get caught? See, I went from Sarah like lasting maybe the entire show to she's going to get caught, and she's either going to get the box or she's going to 86 herself out of guilt, because I don't think she could take another arc like that.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely see her 86ing herself long before I see her ever getting thrown in the box. I just feel like Boyd will probably try to protect Sarah as much as he can, just like he was protecting Fatima after Fatima killed Tilly. So yeah, no, if anything happens to Sarah, I think it's going to be either of her own doing or her kind of putting herself in harm's way to save someone else. Like I always saw Sarah's arc kind of going the route of maybe dying, saving Ethan one day. I feel like that would bring her character kind of full circle from where she started at the beginning of the series, what she almost did to Ethan. And we know that Sarah has been searching for redemption. She's been searching for a way to kind of be useful to the town ever since then. Like she doesn't want to be looked at as this scary murderer. So I could see Sarah kind of, at least in Sarah's mind, I could see her trying to seek redemption by kind of, maybe dying, saving Ethan in some manner. So that's kind of where I always saw her character going. But I don't know. I mean, again, Sarah's one of those very interesting characters where I feel like she could die next episode, or she could end up making it the whole way. Like she's just one of those characters. When I look at a lot of these characters, like Boyd, I know Boyd's not going to make it. Boyd's not going to live. Boyd is not going to survive this whole show. That much I'm almost sure of. Like he will very much die. It won't be till the end. He ain't going to die this season. He ain't going to die at the beginning of season 5. But Boyd will probably die towards the end of season 5, likely in a heroic manner, helping to save everyone. And at that point, I'm hoping Kenny is going to take over. They have been foreshadowing Kenny taking over for Boyd from the very beginning. And we see how far Kenny has come. And I know you and I are, in particular, we've become really big fans of Kenny. I feel like he's grown up so much. Kenny has really, really grown up from who he was in season 1 to who he is now. Like he's not quite Boyd level, but everything he's learned from Boyd, everything he's learned just being under Boyd's tutelage, Kenny is right there. He's right there, close, very close to being able to kind of take care of this town on his own one day. Yeah. Maybe not yet, but I do believe he'll be there one day.
Yeah, even that brief discussion they had at the top of the stairs, or on the balcony up there, talking about Fatima, and Kenny was like, this place changes you little by little till that's not the person isn't the person anymore. Yeah. And that was, I was like, wow, because I always look at this show in terms of how much screen time they're spending on a certain thing, and I consider it precious, drip, 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 like little drips, how much screen time they're given to a certain thing. And they gave Boyd and Kenny a decent amount of screen time in this episode where, I didn't feel a whole lot was happening. So I was like, what is, I always try to, that's where my theories, or that's where my tinfoil hat comes on, is because I'm thinking, why are they showing this? Where is this going? That's why I'm wondering about in this trailer, the next episode trailer, what they're going to do with Marielle and her hallucination or her vision of being chained up again.
Yeah. And I'll pull that back up so we can take another look at it. Yeah. Again, there's a lot. They threw a lot on this episode 5 trailer. There's actually quite a lot in here. But yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. Again, the trailer looks like episode 5 is going to be that episode that we've been waiting for, the episode where things are really going to pop off. And again, I am all here for it.
Yeah, if you pull, I mean, even if, again, Roger notwithstanding, if you pull this net full of crap up out of the water and it looks like it's some giant mutated thing, I'd push that shit right back in the water. I wouldn't even
right back.
It ain't coming back on. Hey, let's gather this thing up and bring it into our cabin, our talisman protected cabin. What could possibly go wrong?
It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous for Roger the NPC to step up in that moment like he's a main character and just yank on that rope, not knowing what's on the other end of it, knowing that you're in Fromville. Like, this is Fromville. This is a nightmarish landscape where everything that comes out of this forest is trying to kill you. Yet you see a giant rope. And like you said, it wasn't a little rope. That was a giant maritime rope that you fucking tie boats with. You see this giant rope heading into the lake, and your first idea is to just grab that fucking rope and yank on it. You're not a main character. You're Roger the NPC. You should not be touching this rope. And then again, when I go back and I think about all the sins that this character Roger has committed, the guy's got to fucking go. Like, if you remember back, Roger was one of the ringleaders that stormed into Tien Chen's house and stole all of her fucking food during the food shortage. Roger, and then again in the trailer, after being the one, you got the gall to yank on that rope. You, Roger, where are you? Where are you? Where are you, asshole? You, Roger, right here in the background. You have the gall to yank on that rope and unearth whatever manner of horror that's going to come out of this lake. I mean, we kind of know it's going to be the scarecrows thanks to the trailer, but you unearth this freaking horror by yanking on this rope. And then you really have the gall to just stand back there in the background and watch everybody else do the heavy lifting. Again, look how fucking much Ellis is struggling to try and get this thing out of the lake. You even got Donna back there yanking on this fucking thing. And Roger, the NPC who caused all of this, is just standing back there and watching everyone do the hard work.
Yeah. Hey, guys, I found a rope. Somebody should pull it in.
He's got to go.
Somebody, not me.
Yeah, right. Read the fucking room, Roger. He's got to go. He's got to go. I got a very big. Yeah, Roger has totally got that Star Trek red shirt energy. He is 100%. He is the epitome of red shirt. Absolutely. He's got to go.
We don't know who the Kool-Aid Man gets, so it very well may be Roger. But like you said, Roger's the kind of guy that would survive that. It might be Ellis or something.
Exactly. Or you know what it's going to be? It's going to be this other red shirt, this other NPC woman character there. You know, it's not going to be any of the mains. I mean, we see Donna gets like some kind of injury from that shot we saw of her with the cane. Maybe she gets injured in the attack. But again, yeah, people like Roger, these kind of weasels, they're the type to cause fucking hell and get everybody around them killed while they get away scot-free. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this character is going to be the one to get the clobbering from the demonic Kool-Aid men.
So you think the bird? Do you think the bird got healed from getting waterboarded, or they just threw it on the ground?
It didn't look like that. I mean, unless we see like a scene in next episode where we see that bird just kind of fucking like take off and it's all fine, maybe. But no, I when I think of the Lake of Tears, if it's even going to be in the show, which I'm still not 100% convinced it's going to, I think Jade brought up a very good answer as to what is going on with Ethan, that he's just grieving. This is just trauma. That Jim he saw might have not even have been real. That might have just been in his subconscious, because he's a kid grieving the loss of his father, trying to search for some kind of meaning in all of this, trying to search for something that he can focus on to make it all make sense. So why wouldn't he kind of come up with this idea of the Lake of Tears being a real place that's here in Fromville? This is a child grieving the loss of his father, trying to make sense of this. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Jim we saw was just totally of Ethan's own making, just Ethan's subconscious. That he's just a grieving kid. That wasn't the man in yellow. That wasn't really Jim. That wasn't some other entity. That was just Ethan's subconscious. I think Jade might have been onto something when he mentioned that to Tabitha. This is a kid grieving his father.
And you think his like talking on the CB radio and stuff, if he does that enough times and doesn't get a response, that he might have to come to terms with Jim being gone for good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Maybe.
And that
again,
bird's going in the stew pot, that it's going to be in the Dutch oven in the next episode.
But even if it is real, even if that Jim was real, even if that was a real vision that Ethan had, I'm also with you as well, Elizabeth. I don't think it's going to be an actual lake. If the Lake of Tears is going to be something, I get the feeling it's more metaphorical for something. I don't think it's going to be like an actual lake that you can bring people in to bring them back to life. Or at least I hope it's not going to be. I would much rather see the Lake of Tears be something that is a metaphor for something else, if it's even going to be in the show at all. But again, part of me is starting to think that Ethan's just grieving. He's just grieving a loss of his father, and he conjured this up himself. That it could just be that simple. But who knows? Maybe there will be a real lake. That's possible as well. We did see all the painting. We look at all of Victor's kind of pictures. He's got tons of different ones that are depictions of the Lake of Tears. You see one that's literally an eyeball crying into a lake. So I totally understand why a lot of people think it might be an actual real lake. And it could be. It definitely could be. I guess the only thing I'm trying to say is I wouldn't be too surprised if it's either a metaphor for something else, or I wouldn't be too surprised if it's all just in Ethan's head and this is just his subconscious trying to make sense of the death of his father and trying to get something out of it where he can grieve.
And Miss Stone Michael says on the map there's a Lake of Tears on the huge map.
Yeah, the Peach Truck map, I believe. Yeah.
Interesting. How good was that reversal of when Henry and Victor finally sat down, and Victor was telling that story about Miranda being eaten, just completely like he was completely numb, but he was just relating the story right out there. And then it was, instead of Victor being the one freaking out or breaking down, it was Henry that broke down. And it was like such a reversal of roles, and it was so strange that it was almost like Victor had been traumatized to the point where he couldn't even feel it anymore. And
that's exactly what I got from that scene. Like when I see Victor recounting this story to his father and you just see the blank look on his face, yeah, it just seems like Victor's got to the point where it's just numb. The trauma has done so much damage to him that he has become numb to it, to the point where it's just, and it's such an awesome testament to just how good of an actor Scott McCord is. The guy is just so fucking good. I think he's the best actor on the show, or at least I think he has the toughest job on the show, I should say. Harold Perrineau is fucking great too. A lot of them are great. There's a lot of really good actors on the show. But what I see whenever I see a scene like that with Victor, yeah, you just get the sense that this trauma is so deep. He's so laden with trauma inside of him. And it's taken such a toll, such a root at his very core, to the point where he can talk about something like that, like his mother getting eaten by the man in yellow, and have a blank expression on his face. Yes. That tells me a lot about Victor's trauma and everything that he's been through. And that, yeah, he is numb to a lot of this stuff now.
Yep. Super scene, I thought. It's a lot of powerful acting. Again, for an episode where I felt the writing let him down, the certain scenes, Tabitha apologizing to Jade about what she said or whatever. I thought that was good too. And Jade just accepted. He just accepted it, and it was like, yeah, that would be what Jade would do. He's so, it's like he's not affected by that kind of stuff. Like he doesn't let it take it personally. He's like, no, yeah, that's cool. So I like that they got it out of the way, and I like that they didn't linger on it. And it was just like, and she needed to say, I'm sorry, for wishing you dead.
Right.
But I liked how it was resolved, just mentioned and buried. And I don't think I'd be allowed to get through without the funny scene with Julie and Randall in the bus where they're reading the books, and then like nope, believe me, I'm just finger banging your underage daughter is not, we're definitely not reading books.
God, no. They're hiding. I mean, when I saw it, it's like it reminded me of like teenagers like hiding the weed paraphernalia. Like when like your parent comes into your room or something, it's like, oh, hide the books, hide the weed, hide the joint or something. It felt like that to me.
They did that in Widow's Bay when the guy saw the smoke coming up out of the over the window, and he opens the door and his son's got the doobie, and his son's like, what is this? I just found it. What is this thing?
Yeah.
What is this doobie? I don't know what it is, Dad. Can you tell me?
Yeah, it's
I found it on the ground.
And I don't know why Julie feels the need that she needs to like hide these books or anything. I mean, she's looking for answers, and that's the part that I hope at some point Julie and Randall tell Boyd, Tabitha, and Jade what they're doing, what they're trying to accomplish. Because again, we finally have Boyd and Jade and Donna and everybody working together. Yet the one aspect that they're probably going to need is Julie's ability. Julie's story walking ability, there's a reason she has that. There's very much going to be a very important part that Julie is going to have to play in solving all of this. So at some point, Julie and Randall really need to kind of team up with Boyd, Jade, and Tabitha and everyone. Like they all need to kind of just come together and share everything they know. Because right now, I get Julie's trying to get a handle on her abilities, so she maybe doesn't want to tell Tabitha because she doesn't want I get where she's coming from. If she tells her mother, she's afraid that Tabitha will stop her from doing it. I get it. But at some point, you got to kind of just put all your cards on the table and say, this is what we know. If we're ever going to get out of here, it's going to be working together, not all of us just going on our own side quest. We need to kind of consolidate all of these side storylines into one big one. And I do think that's where the show is ultimately heading. But yeah, Julie needs to let the rest of them know about the story walking thing. And who knows, like maybe that's the one key that Jade and Tabitha are missing. Maybe that's the one key of piece of information that they might need to unlock more of their memories. So I do think at some point Julie needs to kind of let Tabitha and Jade know exactly what she's doing. But I get why she's kind of hiding it at this point.
Yeah. Well, I mean, up to now, everybody, you had been kind of like thought crazy or whatever. And now, Tabitha's taking Ethan on a quest to the Lake of Tears. Maybe that'll kind of indicate to Julie that maybe some of these more crazy aspects, because I don't think they're sharing, I don't think the adults like Boyd and whatnot were sharing some of the crazy stuff that they had experienced with Julie, or maybe the one time in the diner. I can't remember. I can't remember how much of even, I mean, it's hard enough to get the adults to share that crazy information with each other. And then, up to now, technically Julie's kind of been at the kids' table. She's off to the side. She wouldn't be included in these critical discussions, even if they were openly sharing them. And that's just barely kind of starting to happen. Yeah. So yeah, it'd be nice to have her brought into the circle and relate her, because she and at least hers, you can duplicate it, you can replicate it. She can say, look, I got to this ruins and I step in here and I am gonna go have a seizure, and you will be able to see what happens when this happens.
Yeah. And as Xavier brings up, maybe they can help her get a handle on harnessing this ability. I mean, I get it. Julie's heading in the right direction. I like that she's experimenting. I like that she's trying new things with this bookmark idea and all this stuff. She's definitely heading in the right direction. She's on the right path. But it just feels like she needs a little bit more help than what Randall is able to give her. Randall doesn't know anything about this shit. He's just there to pull her out so she doesn't get killed. But yes, if she does kind of bring this to Boyd, and I love how and I love the council idea, Xavier. Hell yeah, Boyd and his freaking council, because it is. I mean, that kind of is what's going on. Boyd has his inner circle now, and they're all working together. But yes, if Julie kind of lets them in on it, maybe they can help Julie get a handle on harnessing her ability a little bit better. More heads are better than two, especially when it comes to whatever could potentially be locked inside Jade and Tabitha's mind that could maybe help Julie. So yeah, they need to kind of all team up at some point. And I think they will. But yeah, let's continue on this episode 5 trailer. Again, after we have Jade and Boyd. And I love this scene. It seems like the mushrooms are maybe going to work at some point. And when I saw this, I thought at first, does Boyd actually see the younger version of Jade? Because I have to imagine that they're looking at the younger version of Jade here, because we know that that younger version is going to show up at one point. But then when I continue to look, Boyd's eyes start to kind of go all over the place. So I don't think Boyd can see him. You know, we got Boyd looking in one direction at one point, then he's looking in another direction at another point. So at first I thought he could see him, but it looks like he's kind of looking around trying to see what Jade is looking at. So I don't think Boyd sees him, but I guess we'll find out. NPC Roger sitting back and just kind of twiddling his thumbs while everybody else is doing the hard work. We talked about that already. But here we have Donna telling Tabitha, or asking Tabitha, is there something in that lake that we need to be afraid of? At which point we get that little flashback vision of Tabitha seemingly having some kind of memory. Now, we did see this in season 3, that this previous version of Tabitha, or this younger version of Tabitha, used to have dreams about this place, dreams about seeing the totems, and that one dream of something right here scaring the crap out of her. And you know, just based on where we're going, it seems like that might have been one of these scarecrows. Maybe one of these scarecrows are what scared Tabitha here, because it seems like Tabitha has some kind of connection to them. So I think that's what we'll probably find out, that this was one of those scarecrows that scared Tabitha here in this scene. But again, I guess the question remains, who built the scarecrows? And more importantly, who put them at the bottom of the lake? And are these scarecrows to blame for what originally ruined the ruined settlement? Again, we call it the ruined settlement because it's in ruins. Right. Were these scarecrows to blame? Were these scarecrows what destroyed the settlement originally, and they had to sink them to the bottom of the lake to kind of get rid of them, maybe?
Yeah, it didn't. Now I just lost my train of thought. No, it wouldn't have been inconsistent for them to try to do pretty much the same thing that Fatima's doing. Build some, like, make some kind of protector, make some kind of, and maybe in colonial times, you know, a scarecrow scares the crows away. You know, who knows? Maybe the colonial people felt like the crows up till last episode, people thought the crows had a negative, almost universally, that the crows had a negative connotation. Yeah.
And now, now we have theories that they might not be, you know, after that one scene. So yeah, very true.
But yeah, I mean, if they built the scarecrow monsters and somehow either the world, without their knowledge or without their consent, got them animated, they also figured out how to deanimate them and then throw them in the bottom of the lake. So
yeah. Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see what's going on there. What exactly is going on with these creatures? And again, were they the original ones that destroyed the settlement in the first place? Were these things built as protectors, maybe? And did they grow out of control of their creators, like Fatima and the Golem? Golems have been known to grow out of the control of their creators and go on rampages, which again is why it very much mirrors Victor Frankenstein and his monster with what Tabitha's doing, with what Fatima's doing. But yeah, Westeros, if you want to pop on for a few minutes, absolutely. I mean, 3 minutes and 22 seconds is very specific. But yeah, the link is, I just sent you the link in Discord. If you want to pop on and hang out with us for 5 minutes, please hop on here, my friend. We want to hear your whatever you want to talk about from-wise. We want to hear it. So yeah, you got the link. If you want to pop in for 5 minutes, you are welcome.
Yeah.
To do so.
The first minute, 38 seconds is free.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. But yeah, no, I think it'll, again, I'm hoping that at least we're going to finally get some definitive answers. Some interesting definitive answers.
He says, stop being a mug.
Stop being a mug. I don't know what that means. But you have the link, West of Westeros. If you want to pop on, my friend, I sent you the link. It's in your Discord DMs. If you want to pop on here for a few minutes and talk some From, you are welcome to, my friend. But yeah, I think I'm hoping episode 5 is going to be the episode that does give us some definitive answers here, because we really know nothing about Cannibal Village yet. This new ruined settlement that got introduced to us in season 3, we really know nothing about it yet. So I'm hoping we're going to get some definitive answers in episode 5.
Yeah.
Here we go. Here's West of Westeros. Welcome, my
Archie,
friend.
where you at?
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
You know better than to call a cat. It ain't gonna come just out of spite.
I just realized, like, he's not even in the fucking room. He's like in the other fucking. No, like, give me you guys details. I want details real quick. Okay, we've seen what we've seen. I hate to tell you, but I'm gonna be the guy that's gonna be the fuck him. It was filler. It was filler. It was filler. It was filler. I know you say no.
Episode 4?
1 through 4. Yeah. Anyways.
Okay.
So like, I feel like something is gonna happen on like the finale. That's gonna be like, hey, if you look back at those episodes, those moments actually have meaning.
Will make more sense.
But we don't know it yet.
Yeah.
But you think the whole season so far is filler? The whole season?
I feel like the whole season so far is like, okay, have you watched The Boys or no?
Yes.
Okay, so are you telling me right now that this last episode we just got was so fucking awesome? Yeah, that's how I feel about 1 through 4 right now.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
I am not like
because I feel like there's something that's gonna happen that we're gonna be like, if you were paying attention, this happened in that scene. That's why it's very important.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we didn't catch it.
Right.
And I think From has had a history of that. I think you're right. Like when you look at From and you look at some of the early episodes at every season, then when you get to the finale, then when you go back and do a rewatch, so many things just make more sense because you have more context at that point. So yeah, From does tend to have that kind of format where once you get to the end,
mystery box.
yeah. No, and I think this season will be similar. I'm hoping. I have no. Again, I have not seen the episodes myself. I don't accept early access, but I am very much hoping that when we get to the end of season 4, when season 4 is completely done and over, we as an audience, we're going to have. I'm hoping anyway. We're going to have a much better grasp on exactly what Fromville is, exactly what's going on, and what they have to do to save the children. I'm really hoping that by the time season 4 ends, we'll have some really good definitive answers. But
I will throw out there, like, my biggest wish is after, fuck you, Lord Ravener. If it wasn't for him, I would never fucking got caught up in this shit because I did the
Ravener got
you fucking remember that. You remember that conversation that night. Don't even act like you don't.
I do. Yep.
This was like the night that the Night of the Seven Kingdoms season finale dropped. And we all finished and we got out of your channel. I'm not even kidding. And then it was just him and me. And he was just like, I was like, hey, so what's all this From shit? He's like, you sure you want to get a part of that? And I was like, I don't know what everybody talks about. It's just want to be. He's like, well, get ready for your life to be wrecked. And then I fucking learned my life is wrecked because I got caught up in this bullshit called conspiracy theories every fucking night.
It's one of those shows where, and I like the aspect of this. I kind of am only drawn towards shows like this, but it's one of those shows that you can't just like watch it and then walk away and wait till next week comes around and watch the next episode. You just can't. It's one of those shows where as soon as you're done watching it, you have to think about it. You have to talk about it.
And then you rewatch. And then you rewatch.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's just one of those shows that gets inside your mind. It gets right inside your brain and it just gets you going. And it's challenging. That's why I like shows like this. I like shows that challenge me as a viewer. Like as an audience member, when I'm sitting back and I'm watching a show, yeah, I don't mind shows that are just kind of, you can kind of just turn your brain off and just watch it and enjoy it. I like shows like that too every once in a while. But these kind of shows right here, the shows that really challenge you, that are very cerebral, I love stuff like that. I love a nice challenge when I'm watching a show so I can try and figure something out that maybe I don't know. And maybe I can learn something along the way that maybe I didn't know. That's why I really enjoy From. That's why I like Severance. I think Severance is another really good show when it comes to the mystery aspect and a show that really makes you think. But yeah, there's Archie. There's Archie the cat.
Sorry, no, I feel you on that. And like the whole thing about, I think I put a post about this earlier. Like, first of all, everybody who's joined your league is because we have a nerdism, and your nerdism is expanded between like not even thriller or Game of Thrones or this or that. Like it's all the nerdism.
Yeah.
And then you find the perfect people like PM, Ravener, and then my dummy. Like, you know, we exist, and then you create a safe space for us. Like that's the best part about what you are doing.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and Raven and I have talked about this. PM and I have talked about this at length. Like we've always wanted this channel to be a place where it does not matter, you know, if you like the show, if you hate the show. We just want this to be a place where anybody can come and talk about it, whether you like it, whether you don't like it. We just want this a place where everybody can feel welcome to come and hang out with us, because everybody is welcome. I mean, it doesn't matter who you are, where you come from. Everybody's welcome to come in here and hang out and talk some From with us. But yeah, it's just been such a good group. I'm super thankful for all the great co-hosts we've had. You know, PM, Ravener, Snug, Aldous. We've had some really great we have some really great co-hosts, I should say, that have really helped me so much along the way. But
you also have a network you don't realize you also have, which is the sci-fi vision. You have the Geek Academy. Like all of you guys are on the same boat, and you guys all support each other. I hear people in lives when you're not on live, and I hear Geek Squad talk about you. I hear fucking Sci-Fi talk about you. I hear Julie B talk about you. Like, and you guys talk about each other, and like it's like you guys are all supporting.
There's some great channels out there. Yeah, I mean, when it comes to the From community, it's you know, it's a tight knit community for the most part. I guess you can say. You know, there's always going to be people that don't get along, and that's fine. That's always going to happen. That's just human nature. But for the most part, I'm super thankful for this community. There's nobody in the community that I personally dislike. I like everybody. But yeah, it's just such a great group. You know, everybody that comes and hangs out in the chat, all of you guys have. And one thing that I've always told PM and Ravener as well is it feels like every time we do one of these streams, I walk away from it learning something new from one of you in the chat. And I've learned and that's what I love about these discussions. We're all watching the same show, but we're all seeing it through a completely different lens based on our own spirit, our own experiences, our own life, how we see things. And I have to, I can't remember the last time I've done one of these streams and I haven't learned something new from it going out of it. So I'm super thankful to everybody that comes and hangs out with us and shares their thoughts and opinions and stuff. Because yeah, you guys are always teaching me something new, and I always crave new knowledge, if nothing else.
I'm in this little structured moment where I'm in your live with you, but I can't see anything else besides our live. Can you tell me real quick how many people are online and how many people have liked the video so far? I would love to know the ratio real quick.
I think we got a little over 100 likes already. We got like 250 people in here right now. So welcome to each and every one.
So 200 and something people, we have 100 likes. You know what the numbers look like? Alex, the gay boy, will tell you right now. Jeremy has a question. Like or not? Call you out. Call you out, people. Join the love.
But we do have this that I did want to address. Jeremy, please make a Discord server. I have one. We actually have a massive, not massive, but we have a pretty nice sized Discord server. And in that Discord server, you will see probably one of the biggest hubs in all of the From fandom in terms of theory crafting. There's always people in there talking from theory crafting. There's tons of different channels in there. So yes, we do very much have a Discord, and it goes hand in hand with this channel and all.
Has someone sent him, or do I need to grab my other iPhone and add it to it?
No, it's all right. I can throw it into the chat, no problem. But yeah, I will
join our Discord, because also the other person that's online right now, his name is the Lord Ravener, and he does our watch parties, and I'm sorry, something parties. I don't know what they're doing. They're watching something.
Yeah, watch parties.
We do watch parties for From.
The things they came from somewhere. Those people.
Yep. And it'll be in the events, the event section. I encourage people when they do watch parties. I mean, there are impromptu ones that pop up randomly throughout the week. Anybody generally can host one. You know, you can
anybody can host. Yeah.
Anytime. Real fast, can I ask you a question, Jeremy? I have a huge question, please. Please tell me we're about to have a House of Dragons plus From happen at the same time.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. I just want to make sure you didn't disregard us Game of Throners.
Never. I mean, this channel was built.
I know you became you became the fucking man in yellow.
I know I became the Jeremy in yellow, but no, no, my roots will always be tied into A Song of Ice and Fire as well. It's one of my favorite properties out there. Definitely my favorite book series of all time.
Dude, you hooked me like a year and a half ago from this. Like, this is how I've been following you.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Yeah, I can't wait. I think House of the Dragon, I'm looking forward to House of the Dragon Season 3. Season 2, it had some problems, but from some of the trailers and from what I'm seeing from...
It depends on, if you want to be on shrooms like Jade, the entire season of House of Dragon Season 2, then go ahead and be Jade and be on shrooms.
Exactly. But no, I'm hoping Season 3 is going to be a lot better. It's looking just...
Well, the Battle of the Gullet's supposed to happen, right?
Battle of the Gullet and a lot of other really big battles. And just
dude,
like
I am fucking losing my mind about your fucking energy about Game of Thrones. I know I love your fucking From, but your energy of Game of Thrones.
The energy, the game of, and what's great about it is as soon as From ends, House of the Dragon Season 3 will be starting right now. So it's going to be great. Yeah, we're gonna go right in from one to the other. We're gonna still talk From, even when From is over.
Ravener, you better get ready, boy. You 3-eye Raven with the charger.
Oh no! Like all of Jeremy's positivity and happiness is just displaced grief about Winds of Winter never coming out.
It is.
That's like Grand Theft Auto 6 never coming out. So like, we're all in the same boat.
I'm teasing. No, man. Yeah, it'll be super cool. I mean, they're not really doing themselves any favors as far as the promotion of the way they're setting up the next House of the Dragon. But but they also did say that there's going to be 2 huge set pieces. They're probably going to splash a huge.
Well, you did see what they dropped today, by the way.
I didn't.
There was behind the scenes. They dropped today.
Yeah, they've been putting out some pretty interesting stuff on House of the Dragon Season 3 these last few days. Some interesting behind the scenes stuff, some new images. We got our first look at Roddy the Ruin, the Winter Wolves. There's some good stuff out there.
Oh, okay. All I ever saw was the Rhaenyra and Alicent shipping, and I've just about had enough of that.
Where have you been, bro? Where the hell have you been, bro? You're gonna maybe Google some old shit. Like Linda, listen.
But no, House of the Dragon will be fun. Again, that's going to be something we are going to dive into head first here on the channel once the season actually starts, and that'll be fun. That will be a lot of fun. But first, I got to get to Leisha's $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Leisha. Very much appreciate you. I like the ambiguity of Ethan seeing Jim because of the grief, or Jim is actually there, or if Jim is manifested by Ethan, aka actually there. No, I do. I love the ambiguity of it. Ever since Jade said that in episode 4, when Jade brought up the possibility that Ethan seeing Jim might just be him grieving. It might just be a manifestation of his subconscious, a way for him to deal with the grief, a way for him to make sense of his father's death. I love that ambiguity as well. I love that, it could be either or. It could be that Jim really showed up. It could be that was something else pretending to be Jim, or it could be that was all in Ethan's head. So I agree with you. I love the ambiguity of not knowing which one that is. But I personally, I like the Jade theory, the theory that this was maybe just in Ethan's head. This was maybe just his subconscious trying to just deal with the loss of his father. This is a child, a very young child that just lost his dad. And I can only imagine what kind of trauma that does.
But here's the question, right?
Doesn't
Tabitha, as the story walker, get attacked by monsters?
Julie?
Yeah, Julie gets attacked by monsters.
Some point, I mean,
so then does Ethan, as a storyteller, that maybe he accidentally figures out how to go back in time and see the story. So if he's a story listener, not a walker, he can see his sister getting attacked. What if this is his sister being attacked right now and he can't do anything about it?
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, Ethan does seem to be the storyteller, where Julie seems to be the story walker. So yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be interesting to see what Ethan's ultimate role on the show is going to be. Is it just going to be, a knowledge standpoint where he's kind of, putting forth these kind of arbitrary rules about story walking and stuff like that? Or is Ethan himself going to have something important to do at some point that is going to kind of contribute to getting out of here at some point? So yeah, again, Ethan has been a very interesting character in terms of a lot of the stuff that he's been saying since the very early on have been kind of blueprints in a sense for how the show is going to go. So whenever, we hear people saying, go back and listen to Ethan, make sure you pay very close attention to what Ethan says in season 1. There's a reason for that, because there's a ton of foreshadowing that kid gives us in that first season with all of his stories that is going to continue to play out here on the show.
Yeah,
so
and
yeah,
we're getting, and there's also a huge hypocrisy because the guy going on a mushroom-infused vision quest to talk to ancient dead kids is also the guy saying, well, this little kid is
who's also the guy who saw Tom too, dead Tom.
Right. It's like oh yeah, this kid is just imagining it. It's part of his.
You've seen a ghost already, Jade. What do you mean? But yeah, no, I like that. I like the ambiguity of it, Alicia. Yeah. I do agree with you. I like how they're keeping that scene a little bit ambiguous. And again, I won't be too surprised if we do find out that it was all just in Ethan's head. I won't be surprised. Although I also won't be surprised if that really was Jim too. I feel like that one could go either way. But thank you again for the 5. I owe you a glitter bomb. Handing out glitter bombs like it's going out of style tonight. We also have Katrina Marie 424 999. Thank you so much, Katrina Marie. Very, very much appreciate you. I saw someone on Twitter say the bookmarks are the duplicated personal items. The same bracelet being in the diner and Henry's car. And when did that bracelet go missing? The night Julie was born. Interesting. Okay, now, yeah, let's talk a little bit about this, because I know that there has been an image that has been going around that a lot of people have been saying is fake, is AI. It's an image of a shot from an earlier season of Victor opening his lunchbox, and inside of it we see the same symbol that Julie was writing as the bookmark. But a lot of people have said that that's an AI fake image and that it's not real. I haven't corroborated it myself personally yet. Like, I have to actually go back and watch that episode to see if that symbol is really there or if it's not. So I can't say definitively one way or the other. But when it comes to the bookmarks being the duplicated personal items, I think there could be something to that. Last week when the episode first premiered, a lot of you in the chat were talking about the bookmarks potentially being Victor's drawings. And I think that could be possible as well. Like, when we see Victor's drawings, they're not just random pictures. They're slices of time, essentially. He's the historian of From. So every little thing that Victor draws, it all has meaning. It's all a memory of something. And seeing as he's been here for a very long time, I could totally understand Julie potentially using Victor's drawings as bookmarks to get to certain time periods. So I thought that was an interesting theory that the chat was coming up with last week as well. But I think this is a good one too. I also like this as well, that these duplicated items could potentially be also used as some kind of bookmark. I mean, we did see the boy in white did tell Victor, if you can't bury all the bodies, then grab something from each one of them and bury that. And a lot of people think that those items are going to be used as some kind of bookmark. Again, I suppose anything's possible. When it comes to this bookmark thing, there's just so much we don't know. There's so much we don't know about how it works, about what's going on. But I do think we'll get some definitive answers at some point. And we'll learn a little bit more about this bookmark thing and if it'll even work. I suppose that's also still a question. She's getting this bookmark idea from a children's story, from a children's fantasy story. You know, there's no guarantee that this bookmark thing will even work. But if it does, it'll be interesting to see, you know, how she cracks the code. What will she end up, you know, finding that she can use as a bookmark again?
Can I throw a little legendary thing out there real fast?
Yeah, please.
Remember when Samuel Tully was the one that, Brianna Tarth was the one that made Jaime Lannister's story legendary? Well, she tried. But Samuel Tully was the author. Who do you think is the author of this story? Because there has to be someone. It's nothing but a storyboard. It's nothing but a storyboard.
It could be. I know. I haven't seen the video yet. But I do know Geek Enemy made, I believe Pam was telling me Geek Enemy made a theory video on something similar to that he believes that From is just a story that is being told by someone. And I think that's an interesting take. I mean, that's
If it was a story by someone, who would you want it to be by? If I may ask
and that's
your...
and again, that's been the question for years now, ever since
I want Julie.
I mean, I think a lot of people like to pick Victor. A lot of people like to pick Ethan. I don't know. I mean,
Julie. I want the girl that had to figure it out along the way kind of person. Like
Julie could be another good possibility as well. Like if this is an actual just story that is being told to someone, which I really hope that isn't the case. I really hope. I mean, that could still make the show interesting. Don't get me wrong. But no, I don't know. I feel like, Victor's a good possibility. Ethan's a good possibility. Julie's a good possibility. But that's really it. Like, if this really is a story that is being told by one of these characters, I feel like it's got to be one of those three.
Hey, Ravener, if you were not to be like Jeremy and give every character's name, which one character name would you give? You gave every character like Tabitha. Everybody gets a freebie.
I said Victor and Ethan. You said Julie. I'm going Victor.
I do Julie, because you know what? She has to figure it out. Come on.
Victor's the oldest. He's been here the longest. If this has been conjured up by anyone, it's got to be Victor.
Do you think Julie went back in time and made Victor forget things? Do you think she like played a little factor in saying, "Hey, I need you just to forget shit because you're gonna fuck up shit"?
I don't know. I mean, I'll be honest, when it comes to Julie and the story walking kind of aspect that's been added onto the show, it's made me a little nervous. I'm not a huge fan of time travel being added into stories that aren't originally built around time travel. I feel like Dark did time travel really well because it was a time travel story from the very beginning. They didn't introduce time travel until the third season here.
She's like, what kind of Stargate are you trying to play here?
It just gives me some cause for concern. Time travel can get very convoluted very quick, and anyone who has seen Lost knows exactly what I'm talking about. The time travel storyline on Lost nearly ruined the show. So I don't know. I mean, when it comes to Julie and her story walking abilities, and when it comes to her kind of changing things overall, going back and actually changing things, whatever the case may be, however they use it, I just hope that they have some consequences. There needs to be real world consequences, dire consequences that Julie faces for meddling with time. You cannot meddle with time and have nothing happen. There needs to be some kind of butterfly effect.
I would like to believe that you're old enough to remember the TV or the movie Butterfly Effect by Ashton Kutcher.
Ashton Kutcher, yeah.
And so, like, he played Julie's life right now. He's doing that.
Number 23, I believe the name.
And every time he does it, it causes a worse riff,
a worse future, and that's usually what you see with good time travel stories anyway. So if Julie does manage to go back in time and change something, there needs to be some kind of price she pays when she gets back to her future or to her present. Something drastically needs to have been altered by her meddling with time. So that's why I'm hoping that they'll play it that way, that maybe she will find out that she can change something at some point, but it's going to be at a dire cost to her and her family.
Yeah, and I mean, Victor.
If you could give, by the way, real fast, Ravener.
Yes.
Who is the character you think you don't trust that you used to trust, and who do you think is going to be the character you now trust that you used to not trust? Where is the character arcs about to play into character? I feel like Fatima is the character we all wanted to trust, and she's about to F things up. And I think Kenny is about to be the character we're going to be losing, and I hate that fact that could be a possibility.
Oh yeah, I don't see Kenny going anywhere. I'm kind of disappointed with Sarah on her regressive arc. I was over Fatima as soon as she had Smiley, and I was wondering. I mean, a lot of people had her on top of the Deadpool because her utility to the story was gone.
Is it just you and me, or is Raven still here?
I'm here, right? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Who's your character you want to survive, and who's the character you think is going to fuck everything up?
Fatima's gonna fuck everything up. Yeah, as I was saying, I thought after she had Smiley, I didn't know what they were gonna do with her, so I had her pretty much on the top of the going to die list. But I think they're gonna keep her around just based on this Golem stuff. That they're gonna keep her around, and she is gonna mess things up. This isn't gonna work out the way they think it is. I mean, and that's part and parcel of the Golem lore is they always backfire.
Yeah, they always break free from the creator's control, which again, I love the Frankenstein allegories there. But no, I'm with you, Raven. I think Fatima's going to fuck things up, and I think Kenny's going to survive.
Yeah. And I think Victor might have been, we know that Victor was supposed to die in season 1, and then because of his popularity.
In the original script, yes.
Yeah. So I think, honestly, I honestly think the pivotal character to the whole thing is going to be Ethan. Sad to say, but I think this is a story about a little kid. And the little kid is going to be the hero. He's talked about that. This is the heroic journey, and then, when it gets tough, that's when it gets really scary, or whatever he said, that kind of stuff. But yeah, I think the whole thing is about Ethan and Ken. I agree that Kenny's going to make it out. And I think Jeremy and I are kind of coming more and more in alignment as far as I think the way we think Boyd's going to die is different, but I think we both agree that he's got to go.
He's got to go. He's got to go. Just like Roger here. I love it, Kim. I'm blaming everything on Roger too. Everything is fucking Roger's fault going forward. It's all on him.
Fuck those NPCs.
Fucking NPC Roger. God damn it. But yeah, no, I could see Ethan being an incredibly important part.
But I feel like Lord Ravener is giving Samuel Tully narrative in that whole explanation.
Yeah.
Like he's saying that Ethan is going to be the Samuel Tully, right?
He could be. Yeah, maybe Ethan is the Samwell of this story. Maybe it is. Again, Ethan's the, he's the kid. He's the one that's been kind of at the center of a lot of this stuff. Yeah, I could see Ethan having a very important role. And it being centered around him. Again, the Matthews family in and of themselves, the Matthews family and Jade, this is their story. Yes, Harold Perrineau is the lead actor and, the biggest draw on the show, but this story didn't begin until the Matthews family and Jade arrived in Fromville.
I got a question.
This story didn't begin when Boyd arrived. Boyd had already been there for 3.5 years. This story begins with the Matthews family and Jade. They are ultimately going to be the main core.
Hey, do you guys think that all this stuff about Storywalker Fred being added to this season, do you think that was a direct response to people talking about how Ethan just pulled Story walking out of his ass at the end of season 3? He just
I think it was just a way. I think it was a way for them to show us as the audience where Ethan got that Storywalker name from. Absolutely. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they're gonna kill Kenny, bastards. They better not, Golden Child. They better not pull a South Park and kill Kenny. I'm gonna be pissed.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be very pissed. So who do y'all think Norman is? Is Norman Jim? Yeah, again, the Norman thing has been very interesting. One thing that we found out about the Norman story, and I know I've talked about this a little bit in the past, and I've put the original script in the Discord if anybody wants to go and read it. But I got my hands on the original script for episode 1 of From. The first episode, the pilot, the original script. And in the original script, there are a lot of changes, some very interesting changes in some places. And one change is that I noticed very early on is a change to the Norman story. Now, in the show, we get in the original script, it's pretty much the same thing we get in the show, with the exception of one line that has been removed. One very interesting line has been removed. And it goes, I don't know it off the top of my head, but it's something along the lines of, Norman, you killed the beast and saved the land. So whoever Norman is, they're destined to kill the beast. And that makes a lot of people wonder, okay, who exactly is Norman and who exactly is this beast? Is the beast the man in yellow? And whoever Norman is, are they ultimately meant to kill the man in yellow but die in the process? Because if we remember, Norman saves everybody in the story, But the monster's claws also went so deep that Norman dies. And at that point, they're waiting for the secret fairies to come from the Lake of Tears and bring Norman back to life. Now, of course, I do think a lot of this is just allegories and metaphors for stuff that we're going to see in the show. But yeah, who is Norman? There's been so many theories as to who is Norman. And I want to hear from you guys in the chat. Who do you guys think Norman is? When it comes to the Norman character that in the story at the beginning of the show, which character do you think fits the Norman character arc the most? I mean, Boyd is kind of an obvious choice, but I almost feel like maybe Boyd's a little too obvious of a choice. You know, Boyd being the one that kills the big monster and dies in the process. But I don't know. Who do you guys think Norman is going to be?
Oh man, I never gave it any thought, so I have no clue. I'll defer to the chat on this one for sure. Who is Norman? Which character parallels him the most?
I mean, Boyd seems to parallel him the most up until this point, but could be Victor as well. Definitely could be Victor. Could be Jim. Honestly lost, but maybe Jim. Could be maybe Jim. Maybe. Let's see what else. Past life, Ethan. My mom thinks Norman is Ethan. I mean, it could be. Very well could be Ethan as well. Norman is a relative to the monster. Honestly, not sure. Yeah, again, the Norman thing is interesting. Got another vote for Victor.
I have a huge problem with philosophy right now because philosophy is always fucking right, and I do not appreciate her fucking philosophy, but she's always fucking right, and I want to hear her energy. Like, she has something to offer us. Why is she not joining this call right now? She has something to offer us.
Yeah. Well,
don't you kitty me?
No, PM's great. PM's always got some awesome.
Right, and Kiwi Sweet, we all got you, but like PM, like I need your energy. Like, what is going on? We just watched the episode. We thought it was gonna be the episode, and then we said, it's like Hunger Games, but like the in between episodes.
Yeah, you know, we've been seeing some people not really enjoying the first 4 episodes, and that's okay. I mean, if people aren't enjoying,
I love the first. You know what's gonna happen, Boo Boo. You know what's gonna happen. What's gonna happen is they're gonna give us the boys kind of feeling where they're gonna tell us, "Oh, schmacks, what we just witnessed is gonna make us go back and watch the first 4 episodes and remember we didn't see that. Yeah. We didn't pay attention to that. We weren't looking at that." I swear to you, that's why they made the first 4 episodes so, I hate to say it, basic. But there's something there that we did not see every episode, every scene, and they're gonna make us go back and watch it. I swear to you, I think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm waiting for them to resolve that ring thing because it did not hit for me at all. It seemed to me like they just added something in.
You really failed the last 4 episodes. Like, oh great, we know how to like get grapefruit from the ground.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it'll be interesting. Again, yeah, once the season is done, once season 4 has played in its entirety, yeah, I imagine we'll be able to go back to the earlier episodes and we'll have more context for things and things will make a lot more sense. I don't think these 4 episodes have been boring by any means. And I definitely would not classify them as filler personally. I feel like we have gotten some good data points. We've gotten some good information, some good confirmation on some things, some character development. You know, this show has always been a show where the plot develops a little bit slower. It's been its MO. Yes, a lot of us were hoping it would pick up a little bit more in season 4. And I think it will, but I think the only miscalculation we might have made is it seems the second half is going to be when things really, really pick up. And the first half of the season was setting up some interesting things and laying some nice nuggets along the way.
And those nuggets that we're going to go back to when we rewatch the series, like Game of Thrones. When you rewatch Game of Thrones, there's going to be moments you're going to be like, oh, I wasn't paying attention to that. And like, I feel like that's what these 4 episodes, there's something there that we just don't know yet. That's going to be our thing.
Yeah.
And be like,
there'll be some things that we can go back and see, and it'll be like, okay, that's what that meant. So yeah, for me, I'm with you. I'm not seeing much filler. Again, I feel like, you know, slow plots, you know, a slow developing plot and filler for me are 2 very different things. But yeah, again, I think episode 5 is going to be very. Just looking at this trailer, it looks like episode 5 is going to be pretty freaking nuts. And yeah, I think from episode 5 on, we're going to see the show hopefully pick up a lot more. So if you are among the fandom that hasn't really been enjoying the first 4 episodes, which is totally fine, nothing wrong with that. Hopefully, episode 5 is going to be the episode that scratches the itch for all of us, and from that point on, we'll see it's going to really pick up.
Can we ask the audience a question real fast?
Yes, we can ask the audience one more question. Yeah.
Who do you wish you don't want to pass away, but think is going to pass away by the end of this season? That's what I want to know.
Let us know, chat. Who do you think is not going to survive the season, but a character that you want to survive? Who do you like but think is gonna?
Donna.
They foreshadowed Donna's death. I feel like they were very heavily foreshadowing Donna's death in that scene between her and Tabitha. So yeah, I think Donna is a really good candidate to die by the end of the season.
And that one's going to hurt too. It has
What
to be a
about
character
you,
that you care about.
Ravener? Who do you think is going to be the character you wish was not, but possibly will?
That's what I mean. Like I said, man, it's got to be Donna. I was wondering about that, and I always felt Donna was
putting
too.
the milk away. He got the diaper away. He's being daddy mode.
What? Am I not coming through?
Victor, don't you dare say Victor.
You're coming through fine.
Okay. Yeah. I was wondering.
I can't hear you. Hold on.
I didn't think that Donna was going to
I
die.
can hear you now. I have 2 phones. I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Oof, but now we're getting a lot of background noise from you. I don't know what you just did, but we're getting an echo now. I'm gonna have to mute you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Donna's a good one. I think Donna's a very good candidate. Again, that foreshadowing scene was very, very foreshadowing. So I think Donna is going to be a goner. Diana thinks Boyd. Oof. I think Boyd's going to go, but I don't think it's going to be until the final season. I think Boyd will survive season 4, but I do think Boyd will ultimately die in the last season.
Oh, and Henry is toast, 1,000,000%.
Henry's another one. Yeah, he's going to be toast. Yeah, we got another one. We got another one for Donna. Boyd. I know PM does not want it to be Boyd. I know that. We got one for Kenny. I really hope Kenny doesn't go. I'm really hoping Kenny's going to be one of the few characters that survives the whole thing. I really, really hope Kenny stays. Donna, some more for Donna. Tabitha, want to survive. Donna, 100%, and he's my next choice. Yeah, love it. Donna, another one. We got one for Sarah. Yeah, I think Sarah could be in some danger. Absolutely. Again, now that we're at the beginning of the end, every character could be on the chopping block. We're not at the beginning seasons anymore where characters are going to have just a ton of plot armor, or at least generally speaking, when you get to the end of stories like this, right around now is the time where you start to see that plot armor get a lot thinner. So we should be at the point where almost anyone could go at any time, including Sarah. So yeah,
you think you think the Man in Yellow will go back to the well and go back to his old playbook and get Sarah to tamper with those talismans the way he had her do the first time around? Yeah,
maybe. I mean, maybe the Man in Yellow is gearing up for the final massacre. I mean, we've theorized for a long time, as many of you have as well, that each cycle might end with a massacre, some giant massacre that ends each cycle. And maybe that is why the Man in Yellow has showed up now, because Jade and Tabitha uncovered a little bit too much of their memories. They're getting a little too close to solving this thing. So the Man in Yellow steps in, ends the cycle, and on to the next. And I do think he ends every cycle with a massacre. And yes, that could be a very interesting precursor to the massacre, where he has Sarah snatch all the freaking talismans at night, making all of them unsafe. Boom. Yep. You can kill them all in one night. So I do think something drastic like that is going to be coming from Sarah. Unfortunately, again, I thought Sarah had kind of conquered this. I thought Sarah was a little bit stronger than that. So it's a little disappointing to see her character regression. So yeah, I think something bad is going to come from that.
Yeah, and it's sad too, because I was fully bought into the Sarah redemption arc.
Me too.
But yeah, having her being basically an agent of the quote unquote voices which we know who the
Yeah.
voices are.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Ugh. Right back to square zero.
Right back to square zero, indeed. And of course, Westeros, please vote Donna, Sarah, Kenny, who dies. Yeah, again, a lot of the chat is putting their money on Donna. Seems
And
like a
that it
lot
hadn't even really
on
been
Donna.
it hadn't even been a serious consideration for me before this discussion in episode 4, honestly.
Yeah. Until I always had a feeling Donna might die at some point on the show, but yeah, ever since we got that scene between her and Tabitha, I feel like it's guaranteed. Now, before I saw that scene, I thought it's 50-50 if Donna lives or dies when the whole show is over. After that scene, yeah, I'm about 99% sure Donna is going to die, if not this season, next season.
Yeah, for some reason, I felt like it was going to be soon. I felt like she might be. I mean, and she rapidly went from, like, who do you think is going to be the death that's going to cap off season 4? I would have picked probably several of the people in front of her, and now I think she's right at the top. I thought maybe Henry would, because Henry's getting a lot of screen time, and he's almost always in like the perfect nice guy role that makes you want to love him, and thus making the death of him being so much, almost like a Tien Shin 2.0.
Very heartbreaking. And again, that's, we heard Jeff Pigner state that in that Hollywood Reporter interview they did before season 4 started. One of their favorite things about TV is creating characters that the audience falls in love with, and then making the audience watch those characters suffer. And again, Tien Shin was the perfect example of that. And I think Kenny will also be another perfect example of that, because I think Kenny has become a pretty well-liked character in the fandom. And we got Westeros again for $9.99. Thank you so much, my friend. But please, no more. Please, no more. 100 likes this live. Show your support. And again, big thank you to each and every one of you for coming and hanging out with us tonight. We've had around 250 people in here for most of the night. That is super freaking awesome. I'm so grateful to each and every one of you taking some time out of your, what I'm sure is very busy days and nights, to come and hang out with us and talk some Prom with us a little bit. And I know that's something PM, Ravener, myself, Snug, all of us, that's something we've always been super grateful for. We know how precious time is these days. So for you guys to, take some time out of your busy days and your busy lives to come and hang out with us for a little bit and support the channel, it really does mean the world to us. And I can't thank each and every one of you enough for all the support. You guys have been freaking rock stars. So thank you. Thank each and every one of you. I owe Westeros and all of you another freaking glitter bomb. Glitter bomb, glitter bomb, glitter bomb. Glitter bomb. But yeah. Again, there we have it, folks. Again, I think episode 4 is episode 3 and 4 are kind of the same for me. I think I gave them both a 7.5 out of 10, but I am very much hoping, and I do think that episode 5 is going to be the episode that really kind of kicks things up for us. It looks like we have the weird freaky stuff with Marielle happening in the clinic next week. Looks like we have Jade entering the caves. It looks like we have all the weird stuff with the scarecrows happening at Cannibal Village. It looks like episode 5 is going to be that episode that's going to scratch that itch for a lot of you that maybe haven't been enjoying the first 4. So Here we go, folks.
I hope they don't spend. I hope they don't spend a whole lot of time on Marielle. I almost feel like she's getting her requisite screen time, just almost like a check-in. And maybe they are going to tie in her experience with Randall's experience, the 3 people that have been chained up. Maybe they're going to bring her back into the fold, give her a little more to do. But I really hope they spend a lot of time on Jade and his vision quest, and really giving us some substantive answers as to what's going to happen going forward, and knowing that there's going to be a long hiatus between number 5 and 6. Episodes 5 and 6, they better give us some meat on that bone to chew on. Yeah,
that's a good point. I mean, if we are going to have to wait an extra week, which we have been hearing, again, I'm looking at the MGM site and they don't have episode 6 even listed yet. But a lot of people have seen that episode 6 might not be coming out next week. There might be an extra week in between episodes 5 and 6. So if that is the case, then maybe that's why they're doing that now, because we're going to get a lot in episode 5 that we'll be able to chew on for 2 weeks while we wait for episode 6. Again, I think it's going to be good. I think episode 5 is going to be fun. But yes, episode 5 is this week. it is this Saturday. And we'll be right here like we always are every Saturday, diving into all of the craziness with each and every one of you. We'll be starting our pregame show well before.
Hey, Jeremy, real fast before you get.
What's up?
Yeah, if you're listening on YouTube, West,
Sorry,
we've got
I
like
know
an
my
8-second
delay.
delay.
I apologize.
Yeah.
I actually bought like 20 talismans, and I have a whole 20 talismans coming my way, and I wanted to like throw it to my fan base. I have you, I have sci-fi and deep dive, and I wanted to like throw it out there as well to do like a jackpot moment where we do like a rotary.
Yeah. No, well, yeah, I have been getting some requests to do some kind of giveaway at some point. I've just got a lot going on right now in my personal life that I've barely been having time to even stream or do anything like this. But I do know that at some point, Dieter is going to be doing some kind of similar giveaway with his friends at Etsy shop, and they're going to be giving away some talismans and stuff like that. So if I were you, if you want to throw your 20 into that pot, I would say maybe hit him up and coordinate with him, and whatever giveaway that you guys end up doing, at the very least, I will definitely promote the hell out of it and let everybody know where to go when it's happening. But yeah, there we have it, folks. There we have it. Yeah, I mean, 20 talismans.
It's gonna be on your live. I'm not doing it anywhere else. Like you do like a little jackpot thing where you do a little.
All right, we'll try and figure something out. We'll try and figure something out off stream. Yeah, we'll think of something. We'll think of some kind of giveaway to do. But yeah, there we go, folks. There we go. Episode 5 is just around the corner now. We are just a few days away. And again, this Saturday, we'll be doing our pregame show, our live watch party, and our after show discussion like we always do. And for those of you that aren't members of MGM Plus, or for those of you that are members of MGM Plus that maybe live in other countries and you don't get the episode right at midnight like we do, rest assured, our friend Lord Ravener will be running the watch party in the Discord Saturday night, so you guys can just pop on in there and you can watch the episode in there with everybody else. And then we will be coming right back on here for our episode 5 live after show discussion. Yeah, I can't wait for Saturday. I think Saturday is going to be super cool.
So amazing. We just barely got our Discord boosted to 150.
Yeah.
And we had 145 people in the watch party. People were checking in from Brazil, from Canada, from Algeria.
But anyways, I love you guys.
Hey, man, very much appreciated, Wes.
And again, thank you so much for all the support. I hope I'm so glad Archie is doing well. And yeah, we'll see you Saturday.
And thanks for joining us, man. You added a lot to it. We had that crazy delay.
Where you at?
But we do have to talk about Widow's Bay. I promised the chat we got to talk about Widow's Bay. Yeah.
There's Arch. Have a good night, Archie. I'm so glad you're doing better.
Archie is unimpressed.
Have a good one, my friend. Take it easy.
Excellent.
Awesome. Yeah. West of Westeros, huge supporter of the channel. Huge, just super thankful for all the support that West of Westeros gives us. And yes, we will definitely be diving into House of the Dragon Season 3 once it kicks off. But yeah, episode 5, ladies and gents, just around the corner, and I think it's going to be good. It looks like we finally have some really good answers coming our way for episode 5. But yes, before we close out, like we said, Ravener, we're going to dive into a little bit of Widow's Bay stuff. So for any of you who maybe haven't seen Widow's Bay yet and you don't want to be spoiled, I totally understand. We're going to talk a little bit about the latest episode. Episode 4 has just come out. And again, Widow's Bay has been, it's a fun show. If you're a From fan, I would at the very least suggest at least try it. At least maybe give it a shot. It might be something you like. It might be something you don't like. But for From fans, it's kind of in that niche, so you might enjoy it. But anyone who has not seen Widow's Bay or is not up to date on Widow's Bay up to episode 4, I just want to give a quick little spoiler warning. We will be talking a little bit of episode 4 before we close things out here. But yeah, if you guys haven't seen it already, check out some Widow's Bay. Yeah, it's a fun show, right? It's a fun show. Yeah. It is.
And as you mentioned, this episode was a little more of a Carrie vibe. I hate that Mean Girls rudeness,
the Mean Girls thing,
and that was, they leaned so heavily into that, and I don't even like seeing it portrayed just because it gives me that gross feeling.
I don't know if you felt the same, and I'd love to know what you think, and everybody else in the chat, everybody who has seen episode 4, the newest episode of Widow's Bay. Is it just me, or was this like legit tough to watch at times?
Yeah,
it was like difficult to watch at times, like seeing, like, again, it was written well in terms of like the mean girl aspect and everything they were putting this poor woman through. But like there were times during this episode where it like felt like tough to watch. Like I just felt so bad for this person.
Yeah, and they didn't. And the thing is, they did not miss a chance to be shitty to Patricia. Yeah. And you kind of got a sense that because it was such a small community and such a small group of people, that she had to deal with this a lot. I mean,
her whole life.
Yeah.
You definitely, and at least in this episode, we got some kind of pretty good, interesting background and character development for her, for Patricia, I think her name was.
Yeah.
And in this episode, we learned maybe why that group of quote unquote mean girls don't really like her so much. We find out that there was some kind of killer on the loose on the island way back in the day, and a lot of women got killed. And this character claims that the killer came into her house and she hid under the bed, and the killer didn't find her. And in this episode, we find out that the killer was pretty thorough in finding people when they were hiding. So a lot of people just think that she's been lying all these years just to gain some attention off of this tragedy. So at least we get some backstory as to why, and that was one thing I was glad they covered. I hate it when they kind of throw us into a storyline and they don't give us any kind of context as to why these characters are acting this way towards her. Are they just the local mean girls, or is there a reason why they have this animosity towards her? So I was glad that they gave that backstory to us in a very quick manner. It didn't take long. It was one little line of dialogue, and it gave us all the backstory that we needed between her and these group of girls. Well, I don't know if you are talking now, Raven, or not. I can't hear you.
No. I thought you were roboting. I didn't know if it was me or you or.
Oh.
I could. Yeah. Sometimes I'll think somebody else is roboting and then it'll be me. But yeah, I came back. Mm-hmm. I missed most of what you're saying though, unfortunately.
Basically, all I was saying was I was glad they added the backstory in as to why these group of quote unquote mean girls don't like her. I think it would have been kind of off-putting if they just kind of threw us into the story and they didn't exactly explain, okay, why do these girls not like her? Are they just the town mean girls, or is there something deeper there? I'm glad we found out there was something deeper there about that whole story about her, being on her bed and surviving the killer.
And it was a callback to episode 1 when she was telling the mayor the story. She started telling the story and he was like, yes, I've heard it. And she's like, oh yes. She was so funny in that episode too. She's like, oh yes, I wouldn't want to take up your time by telling it again. God forbid you hear the story again. But so she has been leaning on that story. So, as the mean girl said, they checked the phone records and know they hadn't. So do you think Patricia was lying this whole time, or do you think it did?
I don't know, man. Part of me, I don't know. Part of me does kind of think she was lying. Part of me, I mean, she does kind of seem to be one of those types that wants everyone to like her. She wants to be cool. She wants to be part of the group. So if this kind of killer thing happens and she finds a way to kind of insert herself into it to make herself feel like another victim, I think that's what she was going for. She just wants to be liked at the end of the day, I think. And maybe she just went about it in not the best way.
I know people like that, though. I mean, I think I'm related to people like that are so they want to have friends so bad, but they're just like Patricia. They kind of, and they're not bad people, so you want to be nice to them. But man, the minute you're a molecule to them, then they latch on to you.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, I can't get involved in all of it. I think the people that become like immediately inserted into every moment of your life because that's what their life is, kind of. And so it's tough. I mean, I know people like that, and you want to like her. You know, that she has a good heart.
Yeah, you feel bad
from
for her
what
the
we
whole
see.
episode. Like, you really feel for her in this episode.
Yeah,
at least I
but
do.
then finding out how the grimoire, and that was your word. I'm glad you came up with it, because I didn't really put my finger on it. But yeah, the grimoire kind of, and then the reveal. I don't want to, for the people who haven't seen number 4, the
Yeah, the
reveal was
reveal.
so. I was like, oh
Good.
my
It
God,
was
what is
good, man.
this? It had me off guard. It caught me off guard.
Me too. I did not expect that coming.
Right.
That was literally the last thing. I knew something was up when we saw the mouths. We look through the mirror and we see everyone has their mouth wide open. They're all kind of just standing there like zombie husks. So when we saw that, I thought, okay, something freaking funky is going on here. But no, I definitely did not expect the witchcraft angle, that big reveal that she's literally reading from a grimoire. And I love how the whole episode, she's looking at it as though it's a self-help book. She's just thinking she's reading some kind of self-help book the whole episode, bettering herself, trying to get more confident, trying to learn how to throw a good party, when literally the whole time she's reading from a book of spells, putting a spell on the entire town. It was a really fun reveal. Yeah.
And at this point, I think I am going to have to do a watch party of that one, probably tomorrow. We don't do any, or you guys, you and PM don't do anything till the pre-show on Saturday.
Yeah,
right?
we don't do anything on Friday. So if you want to do a watch party for Widow's Bay tomorrow night in the Discord, absolutely.
Yeah, let's see. Let's call it 9 p.m. Eastern. That'd be 7 o'clock my time. 9 p.m. Eastern. There'll be a 4-episode watch party of Widow's Bay. That way everybody can catch up if you're interested in doing so. What I was advised, and it was good advice, watch the first 2 episodes before you really make your decision on whether this is for you. And then I'll be running all 4 episodes. But yeah, to give it a fair shot, at least the first 2 episodes will kind of get you on the right track with this show.
Yeah, and I think after you watch the first 2 episodes, you'll at least get a somewhat of a feel as to whether or not this is a show for you or not. I would say watch at least 3 or 4, but even if you watch the first 2, you'll get a gist for what the show's like. But yeah, it's fun. This was the best episode yet. I do agree. Like after like really thinking about it and really kind of dissecting what we got in this episode, this was definitely the best episode yet in terms of writing, acting performances, the reveal at the end. This was a really good episode, and Tom wasn't even in it. So yeah, again, I'm intrigued. I'm a little more intrigued heading into Widow's Bay now after that big reveal we get at the end of episode 4. That was a fun reveal right there.
Yeah. And the way they tied it in with the emergency call at the end of episode 3, the sheriff calling in for emergency services, get here immediately, all rescue and fire, get here. I was like, what is going on? And there are still lingering questions, the through threads of what's going on with the priest, because we know the priest and the bell and all that stuff, and the mysterious chamber 3 levels
and
under
the
restaurant.
Mysterious chamber with the weird fucking the weird fucking chair in it and the door that seems to go underground. What exactly is going on in there? What is down there? What is on this island? What is beneath this island, I guess, that they're going to have to find. At some point, our characters are going to have to find that chamber, that hidden chamber down there. So I can't wait. I mean, the show doesn't have a huge mystery aspect to it like From does, but it does at least have some little bit of a mystical mystery aspect to it in terms of everything that's going on down there in that chamber.
Yeah, and the way they write it is, I have a very good feeling that they're going to wrap it up, or they're going to. This one they ain't going to drag out forever. They are going to start giving us answers before they finish up. I think with episode 10. What is Widow's Bay even about? Essentially, Jeremiah 2070. It's there's a mayor of a small island town in
New England.
In New England, and he's kind of a skeptic. The townspeople are convinced that it's cursed, that it has some ancient curse being reawoken there, and he's trying to revive his town. He's a mayor, and he's trying to revive his town as a tourist destination. And all this stuff is happening, and he's trying to reconcile him, his wanting to save the town and revive
and
the
not
town as a
really
destination.
wanting to believe this craziness that's going on around him. And I feel like he didn't. I feel like until we get that episode with the sea hag, he doesn't really quite believe.
Right.
I
But bit
love
by
where-
bit, yeah.
but I love where we're at the end of episode 4. By the end of episode 4, all of our main characters have had run-ins with the supernatural. They all know it's real now, and now we're going to see our team start to form between her, the mayor, and the old fisherman guy there.
Wick, the guy who took a semester of ancient Babylonian.
Wick's fucking great, man. I love Wick.
He's got all the
he's that's pretty much it. It's a small New England island town. This mayor is trying to revive his tourist community. That it used to be a big tourist attraction. He's trying to turn it into a big tourist attraction again. And just as he's finding a little bit of success with bringing more tourism to the island, boom, the curse that is on the island gets awoken. So it's good. It's fun. It's got some New England mythology mixed in with just regular supernatural horror, but also a very interesting heavy dose of comedy. There's a lot of good comedic relief in it. So I would classify the show as horror, supernatural, comedy. It's kind of all three.
Yeah. But not really slapstick. It's very dry,
Not
very
slapstick at all. Yeah.
It's I enjoy it immensely. Yeah. And you guys will be able to make your decision after watching the watch party tomorrow.
Yeah. Anybody who hasn't seen any of Widow's Bay yet, if you haven't seen any of the episodes, we got you covered. Ravener is going to be hosting a watch party in the Discord tomorrow night. So if you guys want to check out the episodes, and you'll see if it's a show that you like. And that's just in case any of you, maybe, I know not everybody's subscribed to Apple Plus, but if you are, Widow's Bay does come on Apple Plus, the Apple streaming service. But if you're not subscribed to it, like I said, you can hop into the Discord tomorrow night and you can watch the episodes with Ravener and the rest of everybody that is going to be in there watching. But yeah, it's a fun show. It's a fun show. Definitely not as heavy as From. Definitely a little more lighthearted, but like you said, not slapstick. It still takes itself seriously at times. So I like that. It's got a good mix of comedy, horror, and supernatural. Good stuff.
Yep.
Good stuff. And we go to Westeros for another $9.99. Stop talking about me like that. Well, thank you again, West of Westeros, for the $9.99 and for all of the support that you have shown us this evening, my friend. And thank you for popping on with us for a little bit and talking some From. And it's good to see that Archie is doing well.
Yeah. Good questions. I mean, he kept it lively, and he had questions galore.
Yes, love it. Love it. But yeah, there we have it, guys. There we have it. Now, again, if you guys have not seen Widow Bay, I would recommend trying to check it out at least. It might not be for you, and that's totally fine. But if you watch the first 2 episodes, you might find that this is an interesting thing to watch on top of From. And Ravener and I will be talking about Widow's Bay usually every Thursday night right here on our Fromville streams. We save Widow's Bay for the end of the stream, and we'll always be diving into the newest episodes. So if you guys are going to be watching Widow's Bay, definitely come back and hang out here every Thursday night with us. And Ravener and I will be diving deep into Widow's Bay. Awesome stuff, guys. Awesome stuff. And yes, PM and Ravener are the awesome peeps. We get some awesome co-hosts here on this channel. Just some absolutely awesome co-hosts that I'm super thankful for. Real friends that I'll probably have for the rest of my life. So yeah, very, very much thankful. But yeah, there it is, folks. There it is. Episode 5 of From is just around the corner, and we will be approaching the midway point. It's hard to believe we're already almost halfway through season 4. It feels like it just got here, and here we are already halfway through it, just about. But based on the trailer, it looks like episode 5 is going to be a pretty wild episode. It looks like some answers are coming. It looks like some very harrowing scenes are coming. Some gut-wrenching scenes are coming. And yeah, looking forward to seeing how episode 5 is going to play out. And of course, come and join us this Saturday night at midnight Eastern Standard Time for our live episode watch party. If you are one of the, if you don't live in the States and you don't have access to the show right at midnight on Saturday night, that's totally fine. You can come and hang out in the Discord, and Ravener will be streaming the episode live in there for anybody who wants to watch it. Yep. But yeah. There it is, folks. Episode 5 just around the corner. and Widow's Bay is really starting to get good now.
Yeah, definitely. A very different tone than from as I said, towards the beginning, very, very.
I had to.
Yeah, it had dropped from 30 feet. 30 feet in the air.
Tree?
Yeah,
I think we got that answer. Like when we saw Victor drop that rock in the faraway tree, it's almost like it spit it right out and it dropped right next to Victor. So maybe if you poop in the faraway tree, it's going to land right on you. So I wouldn't try it.
Yeah, not advised. Yeah, ill-advised.
Yeah, ill-advised. But yeah, we got 2 really good shows to look forward to. From episode 5 is coming. Widow's Bay episode 5 is also coming. Both of our shows are going to be on episode 5. And yeah, we got some really good stuff to look forward to later on. And of course, after From is over, we'll be continuing to talk From well into the off season, well into the hiatus. Just because From ends, that doesn't mean the From discussions end. We try to talk From all year round on this channel because we really love just discussing it. And I imagine once season 4 is done and we get everything we're going to get in season 4, we're going to have tons of stuff to chew on and discuss while we wait for season 5. And of course, we also have House of the Dragon Season 3 coming up pretty soon as well. House of the Dragon Season 3, I'm finally actually really getting excited for House of the Dragon again. I wasn't very excited after Season 2. Season 2 really made a lot of mistakes, but based on everything I'm seeing from the promotional material for Season 3 is actually looking pretty good. So I'm looking forward to the return of House of the Dragon. We have Silo Season 3 will also be returning this summer as well. We will definitely be covering Silo. We've gotten so many requests to cover Silo. And of course, when Shogun and Severance return, we will be covering those in 2027 as well. And anything else that comes along the pipe that ends up looking good, you know us, we will dive into it and discuss it with each and every one of you. But yeah, there we have it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I can't wait for Shogun to season 2 with the different casts. Some of the primary cast of season 1
most
died.
of the returning cast except for Mariko,
right, and Yabushige. Right.
And oh god, and Yabushige. I forgot about Yabushige. I'm gonna miss him. He made season 1 of Shogun so fucking good. He really fucking did.
Yeah. But I mean, they've earned my trust. I mean, they've earned at least my attention for the very first, for the first part of it, at least, because that was some of the finest, most beautiful viewing that I'd seen probably in years. So yeah, I was a big fan of that one.
Yeah, A Night of the Seven Kingdoms was so fun. Like it was so fun watching A Night of the Seven Kingdoms this year. I had a feeling it was going to be decent. I didn't think it was going to be a masterpiece. It really is. Season 1 of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms is a masterpiece. It's right up there with like Game of Thrones Season 1 for me. It was not quite as good as Game of Thrones Season 1, but close to it. Yeah. So yeah, I can't wait for, and what's great about A Night of the Seven Kingdoms is we're going to be getting a season of that every single year. We're not going to have to wait years and years in between seasons. We'll be getting A Night of the Seven Kingdoms every single year, at least for the next 3 to 6 years or so. I know that Ira Parker is hopefully planning, he said something astronomical, like he wants to do 12 seasons in total. But yeah.
And the strength of that one's in the cast, as long as the cast is intact.
It's the cast. Yeah, the cast is great. But then again, the thing with the Dunk and Egg story is it covers the span of like 50 plus years. Right. And Ira Parker has broken down what he wants to do. He wants to do 3 seasons with Egg, with this actor as Egg. Then he wants to do the next 3 seasons where they recast Egg as like a young adult. And then the last 3 seasons, they want Egg to be old Egg when he becomes king and all of that, and leading right up into Summer Hall. That's what Ira Parker wants to do. We'll see if he gets the chance to do it, though.
Yeah. God willing, man. Yeah. I mean, one good thing about Dunk and Egg, it didn't seem like it was too budget intensive. It doesn't look like it's going to expand and go crazy. The sets might be expensive, but the special effects aren't that much. Yeah. And they don't have to worry about dragons and whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very it's a much more grounded look at Westeros, a much more, and again, every Game of Thrones show we've gotten up until this point, it's always the fight for the Iron Throne or the fight against the Great Other, the White Walkers. This is a much smaller character-driven story, much more self-contained, much more ground level. You get to see Westeros through the POV of the Hedge Knights, the common folk. And it's just such an awesome perspective on this world that we know so well, but we're seeing such a different view of it now. And they really captured that well.
Yeah. I mean, his concerns are finding a dry place to sleep, maybe finding some food to put in his belly.
Exactly. Like it's so heartwarming. Night of the Seven Kingdoms was so heartwarming. And like you said, the actor they got to play Dunk, the actor they got to play Egg in particular. We've talked a lot of times about young actors. They're not always the best because they're young. They haven't had enough experience yet, both acting and life. It's hard for young actors to like really be like really good at acting. But the actor they got to play Egg, Dexter Sol Ansel, that fucking kid is great. That kid is great.
Yeah. And you can see it. I mean, a lot of kids, they're trying to memorize the script and they're trying to read the words that they memorized in the script. And that's as far as it goes. Egg is, I mean, and the chemistry between the two also makes a huge difference. And and he's kind of scrawny for his size, even like they even mention it in the show. He's scrawny for his size compared to this very big guy that they got to play Dunk. It's just such a great contrast, such an odd couple. It's very charming show. That one was another one that you get to the end of it and you're like, yes, we've really seen something. Something remarkable that doesn't come along.
This is something special. Yeah. It is. Yeah. Night of the Seven Kingdoms was so fun. Even if you're not a Game of Thrones fan, I would still recommend A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. If you're just a fan of good characters, just good old-fashioned good characters, good storytelling, good writing, and grounded. Even if you're not a fantasy fan, even if you're not a Game of Thrones fan, A Night of the Seven Kingdoms is one of those shows that you'll probably like. It's just really good. Same thing with Shogun. Shogun was so phenomenal from start to finish. And if you're going into Shogun expecting it to be this high action samurai show, it's not that. It is not that. Shogun is the most accurate, actual, real look that we've ever gotten into the Sengoku period of feudal Japan. It is the most accurate by far. A lot of people, when you look at samurais, you think of the warrior aspect of them, which they were. They were some of the most deadliest warriors in history. But they were so much more than that. The samurai were so much more than just warriors. And Shogun captures that better than anything I've ever seen before in terms of, how they were just dedicated to absolute mastery of whatever craft they pursued, whether it was sword fighting, calligraphy, tea ceremonies, the stage acting, every single little aspect. They devoted themselves fully to the mastery of everything they tried to achieve. And it really just paints the most beautiful look at feudal Japan that I've ever seen.
Yeah. But they weren't saintly. I mean, episode 1 has a guy boiling people alive.
No, they were not saintly. No, absolutely not.
Boiling absolutely a bunch of people in a pot.
Especially during that time when there was a lot of, religious tension in the area with a lot of Christians trying to move into Japan and introduce the religion to them. It was a very volatile time in Japan's history, the end of the Sengoku period. It's known as one of the bloodiest eras in Japan's history. But yeah, even if you're not like a samurai fan, I would still recommend checking out Shogun because it's so much more than just samurais fighting. Yeah, you get some good fight scenes, some action scenes every once in a while. But for the most part, it is just good writing, good dialogue, good characters, and a really good story. So yeah, Shogun, I would highly recommend Shogun to everybody. It's the best show I've seen in many years by far. But yeah, I'm a Shogun geek. Absolutely. Shogun. I love Shogun. I really, really do. I really love Shogun. And yeah, we'll definitely be talking some Marvel a little bit more, maybe a little bit down the road. Like when the next Avengers comes out, we'll probably at least be talking about it. I know Robert Downey Jr. is coming back to play Doctor Doom and all of that. I am interested to see where that goes. I feel like the Marvel MCU, it's just not quite as good as it used to be. I feel like they kind of oversaturated the market a little bit with like a little too much stuff. But I am, I am still going to watch at least all the Avengers movies, even if I don't watch all the single superhero movies that come out nowadays. At the very least, I'm going to continue to watch the Avengers movies. So yeah, when Avengers Doom comes out, we'll definitely talk a little bit about that for sure. And one last one before we go, from West of Westeros for $9.99. Thank you so much, my friend, Lord Ravener. Damn you.
I don't know exactly what that pertains to. It might be because I posted the event for the Widow's Bay watch party already.
Maybe getting him into another show, getting him hooked on another show.
But we've talked, but the ones we've talked about, Knight of Seven Kingdoms, Shogun, all the different ones, man.
Great show.
These are the ones that really stand out because we've had some stinkers. To be fair, I got several episodes into Pluribus, and I was just like, man, why? I didn't see a payoff there. I didn't see a payoff.
I didn't like it. We tried. We tried to cover Pluribus when it started here on the channel, and yeah, I just didn't like it. I just did not like it. I feel that, again, I'm all for shows that have slow burns, slow plot progressions. I'm not one of those audience members that needs to see a bunch of kind of stuff like right away. I'm totally fine with letting stories play out and breathe. But for me, the biggest problem I had with Pluribus is I just don't like the main character. I do not like Carol. Carol is a selfish, egotistical, narcissistic, maniacal individual. She's not a very good person.
Unpleasant. Yeah.
Unpleasant. Yeah. I just, and again, for me, I'm very much a character person. The story can be kind of but if I like the characters, I'll watch it. I'll go deep and I'll watch every single episode of something if I enjoy the characters, even if I don't enjoy the story. As long as I enjoy the characters, I'm in it for the long haul. But yeah, Pluribus just didn't do it for me. I know it's super popular. I know a lot of people really, really did love Pluribus, and I know I'm probably in the minority here, and that's totally fine. But yeah, I don't know. I couldn't really, get into Pluribus like I did Vince Gilligan's previous shows. But I don't know, when season 2 comes around, I'll watch it. If it ends up picking up and if I end up liking it, maybe we'll do some discussions on it. But yeah, Pluribus, Pluribus just didn't really do it for me in season 1. But Severance did. Severance abso-fucking-lutely did. I love Severance. I love everything about Severance. That's one of my favorite freaking shows that's on right now. Cannot wait for Severance season 3 to come around. We'll definitely be covering that super deep, like we did with season 2 as well. But yeah, we got some good stuff. We got some good stuff to look forward to.
West of Westeros is damning
another
me again.
$9.99 from West of Westeros. He made me watch From. Hey, well, what can you say? It pulls you in. It pulls you right in, and it doesn't let go when it comes.
You'll watch it and you'll like it.
Yeah, you'll eventually like it. But yeah. Awesome stuff. We got some really, really good stuff to look forward to. Some really good shows coming out, some good films. I know PM and I are planning on watching Hokum at some point. I really, really want to see Hokum. That movie looks really freaking good with Adam Scott from Severance. Looks like he's vacationing over in Ireland to spread his father's ashes when he gets caught up in some old world folklore witch stuff that looks really scary. So I'm looking forward to Hokum. I'm definitely going to try and watch that at some point over the next few days with PM, and we'll talk a little bit about that after we're done watching it on one of our next From streams. But yeah, we got some good stuff. We got some really good stuff coming out. From is in full swing. We got House of the Dragon season 3 coming. We got Silo coming. We got some really, really good stuff to look forward to for the rest of this year and next year. Yes. But yeah. That is going to do it for us tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And again, big thank you to each and every one of you for hanging out this evening. And of course, one more $9.99 from West of Westeros, PM Philosophy, with the emoji, with the sunglass emojis and the strong arm. Absolutely. Love it. But yes, that is going to do it for us tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Big thank you to all of you for hanging out with us this evening. And a huge thank you to all of you that has supported the channel, not only tonight, but all year. When I saw that message in our Discord today, I was kind of taken aback. I was not expecting to see that. that we have not only crossed 36,000 subscribers, but apparently we are the #1 viewed From channel on all of YouTube for season 4 so far. And that's crazy. That's super crazy. But a big thank you to each and every one of you. It's because each and every one of you that this channel has become what it has become. I can't thank each and every one of you enough. I really freaking can't. I love doing this. I love diving into these shows. I love talking about all this stuff with you guys. And we love hearing all of your thoughts and your theories and your discussions on this stuff. But yeah, we will be back Saturday night, ladies and gents, right here on the channel as we do our pregame show for episode 5, leading right into our episode 5 watch party. And then afterwards, we will be doing our episode 5 live after show as well. So come back and hang out with us Saturday night. Midnight Eastern Standard Time is when the watch party begins. But we'll be kicking things off much sooner than that with our pregame show right here on the channel. So big thank you to each and every one of you. Thank you to Ravener for hanging out with us this evening. And yeah, we'll see you guys Saturday.
All right. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys. And of course, stay safe out there. Keep those tinfoil hats on, folks. And we will see you all on the next one. Cheers.
Okay, ding-dongs. If you don't subscribe to Jeremy Ice and Fire, you're going to spend a night in the box.
Aren't Cooey